I think I figured out what I did wrong. I put chords in the wrong spot. Oh my goodness. You'd think this is my first time doing this. So let me know if someone give us a thumbs up if you can hear us, because I think I figured out what the problem was. But we're getting ready. They're doing a ceremony here at center ice ahead of the game. Kayshawn Aitchison, of course, now wearing the C. He's one of the co-captains along with Cole Bodwin. And we'll get this game underway momentarily. But yeah, hopefully that's going to be our last little glitch here before we get going. But we got a smiley face, so that means we are good to go. Oh my goodness. My apologies. We will have to play back the interview with Dylan Smoskowitz. Maybe we'll do that in the first intermission.
Yeah, well, we'll blame the gremlins here at the Meridian Center. That's I think I saw a couple running around causing mischief. So there you go.
Well, we had quite a few people come over here and say hi to us and how excited they are that there's a Barrie Colts Road broadcast. And it's great to see everybody, but I think maybe in that I probably put something where it shouldn't have gone.
It's all right, Mike.
So we're going to get this game underway momentarily. The Barrie Colts and the Niagara IceDogs. The Barrie Colts coming off a big 5-3 victory on home ice yesterday against the Oshawa Generals, snapping a 4-game losing streak. Whereas the Niagara IceDogs coming off a 1-1 road trip in Windsor and Sarnia. This is a team with a lot of high expectations, especially when you've got former Colts like Tiller and Patterson.
Yeah, a team that can certainly put the puck in the net, and a lot of the question on the back end and just how good they would be, probably be determined a lot by their goaltending and blue line this year. But no doubt, this is a Niagara team with a ton of talent and looking to take a big step in the Central Division this year.
So right now they're just doing a moment of silence here at the Meridian Center for Mike Robinson. So we will be with you in just a moment. So we are ready to go here at the Meridian Center now that the national anthem has wrapped up. And while we have a moment, Gene, let's take a look at our starting goaltenders.
Well, we'll start with the Barrie Colts. Ben Arebic gets the start tonight for the Colts. Arvin Jaswell had the start last night. Arebic has just been outstanding for the Barrie Colts to start this season. 0-1 record and 0-3 record. But again, you look at the numbers, just outstanding to start this year. The save percentage, one of the top goalies in save percentage last year. At the other end, for the Niagara IceDogs, Vladislav Yermolenko, the goaltender, gets the start here tonight. Getting to 3 games, starting his fourth, making his fourth appearance this season. 1-1 record, 3.11 goals against average, 908 save percentage.
Yeah, the question mark coming into the season for the Niagara IceDogs was the goaltending, but they're getting some solid numbers from Yermolenko and also Charlie Robertson. You can't really go wrong with either one as we're getting set for face puck drop here at the Meridian Center. No surprise, Alex Asadorian getting the start against his former team. A nice touch there by head coach Dylan Smoskowitz. And also getting the start on the Niagara IceDogs side, we've got Riley Patterson taking the faceoff, and then Grayson Tiller on the right side. So the former players all being reacquainted. They all met up at center ice, and I was also in the tunnel. We were able to chat with Grayson Tiller beforehand. So look forward to that conversation coming up in the first intermission. But we are ready to go here. Face off at center, Beaudoin versus Patterson, and we are not underway.
They had the opening face-off, but already timekeeper, I guess, asking the officials to go over, straighten something out.
Well, it looks like there was some confusion there in the timekeeper's bench as some of them were just getting back to their position. So now we are underway. Face-off won by the Colts as they'll send it back into their own zone. Crombie receives the pass in the neutral zone. Chasing after it is Cole Beaudoin. Beaudoin takes the hit from Frolov in the corner. They'll battle there. Acidorian comes up with it. Back to the point. Passmore. Aitchison on the far side takes the shot. That's going to go wide. And that's going to sail all the way back into the Barrie Colts zone. Evan Passmore is there to collect it for the Barrie Colts. He'll give it up to Aitchison as the Barrie Colts will set things up here in the early stages of this hockey game. Aitchison ahead finds Cole Beaudoin. Beaudoin carrying it in on the wing. He'll try and pass it across. Tiller was in the way, and now it's the Ice Dogs carrying it up through the neutral zone. Carrying it forward here is Hage. Hage will drop it back to Patterson, stopped by Horebic. Horebic making his first stop of the hockey game as the Colts get it to the line, not out. Shanowski, his shot, that's blocked. Getting in the way was Emerton, another chance, stopped by Horebic. Barrie Colts will collect it, and they'll skate this one forward. Coming through the neutral zone is Crombie. He's just going to dump this one in. Calvin Crombie had an excellent game last night against the Oshawa Generals, as he's been quite the surprise coming over with the offense. And there's a big hit, as delivering that check was Salandra. Puck's inside the Ice Dogs blue line. Kevin He will send this one up. Emerton dropping it back to low. Backhand pass, picking up Salandra at center. Salandra carrying it in, takes the shots, and Yarmolenko will make his first save of the game.
These two rivals, again, remembering that first round playoff series last year, and right off the draw there, Patterson and Beaudoin, I mean, pretty straight faces, both with the game faces right on, right from the start here today.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup here. This is the first of 6 meetings between these two teams, and they're having a very interesting start to the season. 5 Western Conference opponents. It wasn't until Oshawa last night that they finally played someone from the East, and then this is the first matchup from the Central. We're starting to get right into the thick of it for the OHL schedule. Face off to the left of Yarmolenko, won by the Ice Dogs. Reisnecker after it. Desiderio has that get by him. Colts have it at the point. Vader shot wide in the net. That's going to roll into the blue paints, and Yarmolenko is going to hold on to it. And of course, these two teams familiar with one another as we get a bit of a scrum after the fact, but no penalties as a result.
A couple of whistles and pushing and shoving continues. Officials trying to get things cooled down as these teams got off to a great start last year in the Central Division. Niagara, young team. You know, you look at the talent level on this Ice Dogs club, and a team that a lot of people expect maybe to be the top team in the Central Division this season.
Well, they did so many trades during the offseason just to build up that forward core up front. Riley Patterson, one of those big additions coming over from the Barrie Colts, as the Ice Dogs will get it deep into the Barrie zone. Ice Dogs battling for it. Goes behind the Colts net as Gallianov gets it on the right wing. Barnes with a shot from the point. Loose puck picked up by Barrie, and they'll move this one out. Schneid through the neutral zone. He's just going to chip this one deep. Around the net it goes. Schneid after it. Reisnecker trying to hold it along the boards. Continue to dig for it. Colts are going to make a change as Jade Newton skates off. Schneid still battling behind the net. Reisnecker has it between his skates. Ice Dogs now able to move this one up. Passmore with a big hit. Runs over Smith. As the physicality continues here, both teams are making line changes. Puck's deep. Ice Dogs send this one out to the neutral zone. Picking it up is Bodie Stewart. Stewart will skate back. Passmore now for the Colts. Sending this one over to Aitchison. Kayshawn Aitchison reaching center ice. He's going to dump this one in. Puck bouncing behind the net. Edgar will be the first one on it. Continues it to McCormick. McCormick along the half boards. He's going to send this one across. Finds Aitchison. Aitchison with a shot, and that's going to go wide. Ice Dogs will pick it up and send it down the ice. Emerton back after it for the Barrie Colts. We've passed the 3-minute mark of the first period. Still no score. Shots right now favoring Niagara 2-1. As the Ice Dogs take a shot, Doherty stopped by Hrebeck. Cole Baudouin collecting it now for the Colts. He'll pass this one over as Emerton reaches center ice. He's just going to dump this one in. Yarmolenko behind his own net to play it. He's tied up by Baudouin. What an effort there. Yarmolenko will now play it. Emerton, his shot taken away. Knopf gets to the line, not out, kept in by Crombie. Baudouin got a stick on it. Now the Ice Dogs will get it out to center ice. Gabriel Eliasson back to chase after it here. Long stretch pass finds Crombie at the Niagara blue line. Here's Baudouin again. Cole Baudouin peeling back, sends it to the blue line. Eliasson with it. Eliasson takes the shot. That's blocked. Asadorian will collect it. Alex Asadorian along the boards. Comes back to the point. Across to Aitchison. Aitchison fans on it. Hage will tie him up. Puck's in the corner. Here's Baudouin. His shot stopped there by Yarmolenko. Old Baudouin continuing where he left off from last night as the Ice Dogs will send it down ice. Aitchison reaches center. He'll dump this one in. Colts are making a line change. Tiller with the hit. Robrick trying to set up Patterson. That was out of his reach. Aitchison will move this one forward. Puck sitting at center ice. Patterson collects it now for Niagara. Passing it towards the net. Blocked by Crombie. Patterson gets it again. His shot stopped by Hrebeck. They jam away at it. Down low is Hage. He couldn't get a stick on it. Colts will just put it back behind their own net. Still looking for our first goal of the hockey game. Almost 5 minutes here. Kevin Heath throws a hit on Gardner. Shanowski comes up with it at center. He'll carry this one in for the Ice Dogs. Trying to go back to the point, but it's taken away by the Colts. Cole Baudouin flips this one into the Niagara zone, going towards the net. And Yarmolenko will hold on to that one here.
A couple of good chances at both ends there. First was Cole Baudouin, who talked about playing with his new line mates, Crombie and Asadorian. They created a lot of chances. He gets one in front of the net. That's turned away. And then Hage at the other end doing a good job of getting to the net. It's a couple of whacks at it in front.
Well, it kind of feels like a cautious approach between these two teams. You would have thought maybe it would have been a little more high impact after last year's playoffs.
And a lot of new faces, I think, and, both teams, new line mates trying to learn each other's tendencies. But, we've seen some of the physical stuff, which is what you expect between these two rivals.
So the Ice Dogs get it out of their zone. It's taken away by the Colts at center ice. Salandra along the boards. He's just going to send it back to the defense. Armstrong chasing after it here for Barrie. Drops it back to Vader. Teague Vader up to Gardner. He's going to flip this one to center ice. Carter Lowe trying to get a stick on it. To Elsey. We'll send that one across. To Elche. Passing that one forward. Smith tips that one in the zone for Niagara. So no icing. Vader back after it. Sends that one ahead for Salandra. Colts are making a line change. Salandra deep in his own zone. Stick handling there to keep it away from the forechecker. Long pass up the middle. Newton got a stick on it. That's going to go deep. Newton from the corner trying to find it. He takes the hit. And now Reed will move it up for Niagara. Finds Robrick at center. Robrick will dump that one in off the end boards. Eliasson there to collect it. Gabriel Eliasson sends that one forward. Patterson back to Barnes. Puck's bouncing. Patterson controls it right on the line. His shot wide of the net. Puck goes behind the Colts net. Picked up by Eliasson. He's going to send this one forward. Desiderio can't get that by the Niagara defender. Puck sent in front. Up the middle. There's a shot from the point. Stopped by Hrebeck. Reisnecker fired that one, but Hrebeck able to get a blocker on it. Now the Colts will take it the other way. Desiderio reaching back for it. He'll dump this one in. Ends up behind the Niagara net. Reisnecker. He'll skate this one forward for the Ice Dogs. Reaches the blue line. Patterson has it. He'll just send it in. Hrebeck behind his own net. And it's going to come back to the point. Kept in by Robrick, but blocked by Eliasson casually, and he'll skate this one ahead. Passing that one up to McCormick. Dumps that one in. Yarmolenko thought about holding on to it, but gave it up to Tiller. Tiller sends it down ice. It's deflected, so no icing. Armstrong will come back to play it here for the Barrie Colts. And the shots right now 6-2 in favor of Niagara. Colts get it deep. Frolov back to collect it. Edgar putting on the forecheck. Frolov still with it. Looks like there may have been a high stick. Play continues. Colts to the net. Here's Asadorian. Backhand. Yarmolenko the save. The arms up. Delayed penalty. And this looks to be going against the Ice Dogs for a cross check. So Alex Asadorian taken down and heading to the penalty box this time will be Matthew Spank.
Sidorian driving to the net, creates an opportunity, ends up drawing the penalty, and former Niagara IceDog. It's Barrie Colts power play, which has been a little bit better of late. It started off slow. Of course, the addition of Cole Bodwin returning from camp with the Utah Mammoth will help that. Talking to Dylan Smoskowitz, he's been happy about the power play. You know, at the start of the year, too, I mean, with specialty teams, it's always kind of a work in progress. You know, you can't kind of get the, new players in and out of the specialty teams, and things really start to settle down as the units get established. You got players back from NHL camps.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to get going, and for the Barrie Colts, getting weapons back like Cole Bodwin will help a lot as he brings that power up front. But they also just did a nice little tribute for Alex Asadorian here at the Meridian Center. Of course, his first trip back to St. Catharines since the trade. And the Barrie Colts are going on the power play, brought to you by Frontline Hockey Apparel. So the power play operating at 14% so far this season, while Niagara, their penalty kill 11th at 81.3%. Colts moving around. Aitchison on the near point, working with Emerton, goes back to Cole Emerton. Decides to try and pass, but reading that was Riley Patterson. You got to expect Patterson knows the tricks of the trade with Kayshawn Aitchison. Aitchison's going to send this one in. Yarmolenko plays it behind his net. Kayshawn Aitchison again, between the legs, in front, trying to get that to go is low, but IceDogs get to it, but they can't get it out. Kept in there by Emerton. Bodwin towards the net, deflected. Tiller was in the way. Aitchison passing it there to Gardner, stopped by Yarmolenko. Tiller will send this one around. That's going to escape the zone. Picking it up here is Hayden Reed. Reed carrying it in for Niagara, shorthanded. He's knocked down by Emerton. Play continues. Galliano up the lane to the net, takes the shot, stopped by Hrebeck. Great shorthanded opportunity, but now the Colts are coming back the other way. Here's Kayshawn Aitchison dropping it back. Bodwin couldn't get there in time, and the IceDogs will get it out. Power play now down to 55 seconds. Teague Vader. He'll reach center, decides to peel back as the power play unit was making a change. Vader dropping it back to Salandra. Joe Salandra brings it in for the Colts. Up the wing, hits the brakes, looks back to the blue line. Vader. Desiderio leaving it for Crombie. Crombie back to Vader. Salandra now takes the shot. Hit a teammate in front. Desiderio trying, but Yarmolenko makes the save. Crombie again finds Salandra. Waits. Now he fires. Yarmolenko the save. Looks behind him. A late whistle as he'll hold on to it. And now we've got Ben Reisnecker knocking over Desiderio, but a good chance there after they gave up a shorthanded opportunity for Niagara.
Well, the IceDogs with a chance. Galliano found himself all alone in front of the net with the puck and comes back the other way. Just great patience there by Salandra to walk around the defenseman there and kind of get a shot away right in prime scoring area. But again, this Colts power play doing a good job of moving the puck around, and they finally get it into the Niagara zone and able to set up, and they get a good opportunity out of it.
Well, 20 seconds left in the man advantage. Face-off won by the Colts. Aitchison has it on the far side. Back to the blue line, it's Passmore. Aitchison gets it again. Backhand pass to Passmore. Evan Passmore across. Here's Crombie. Back to Aitchison. Sets up Passmore. Power play about to expire here. Asadorian sending it back to Passmore, but he can't hold it. Now to the box is Spaeth. Spaeth will drop this one back to Reed. It's 5-on-5. Reed going up the middle. What a hit by Kayshawn Aitchison. And then the puck rolls on net. Hrebeck will cover it up, but my, oh my, what a huge hit there by Aitchison as Reed was coming right down the slot.
Well, that big three on the back end for Barrie just have been real physical to start the season here, but getting the Colts on that power play, maybe just a little bit one or two too many passes and moving that puck around, but you got to get pucks to the net.
Oh, it's like you said earlier, how the teams are still trying to figure out the specialty teams. It's going to take that work, and I'm sure for Dylan Smoskowitz wanting to figure out, okay, let's do a fewer passes there to try and get that puck to the net quicker.
And I mean, again, it's a work in progress, and these guys kind of learning each other's tendencies. And you see that young power play unit that was out there, and Again, it's nice to see, Dylan Smoskowicz has shown a lot of confidence. You look at Cole Emerton, he's got key minutes on the power play. And, you see out there Salantra and Desiderio and some of these younger guys getting opportunities with the man advantage.
So right now, Ben Horebic getting a new paddle. Not sure if maybe there was an issue with it after he made that last save. But we are good to go. 10.5 minutes left to go in the first period. Still no score. Face-off won by Niagara. Robrick will send it across. There's a shot from the point. Frolov. Robrick follows it up. But Ben Horebic at the top of the blue paint holds on as he's just been so calm between the pipes of Ben Horebic here.
Well, just the patience back there. And obviously, a guy that last year really a lot of people didn't know a lot about. And he kind of forced his way into starts with Sam Hillebrandt. And, now an opportunity to be the clear number one here in Barrie. And went to Boston Bruins training camp. So he learned a lot there. And again, you just see the patience back there with a big veteran.
Well, he's already had to face 9 shots here from the Ice Dogs this afternoon as the puck bouncing into the Niagara zone. Here's Asadorian trying to get a lane to the net, blocked there by Frolov. Bodwin gets the loose puck behind the net. Has it in the corner, sets up Aitchison at the line. Aitchison with a shot, blocked in front by Frolov. Ice Dogs can't get it out, blocked by Crombie. Crombie to the corner. Bodwin was picking up his stick. Frolov's there now. Asadorian trying to take it away from him. Frolov, who is acquired earlier in the season from the Flint Firebirds. We'll send this one out to center, but we're going to get a whistle for a glove-to-head pass with 9:46 left to go.
Well, again, Cole Bodwin on that forecheck, just like a dog on a bone. And, talking to Dylan Smoskowitz, it's just, you see everything that, on the ice, obviously, that nonstop motor that he's got. And what it does, it drags other guys, his line mates, his teammates, into doing the same thing. They see that guy out there giving that kind of effort. And that's a big reason why he's got the captain's letter and along with Keyshawn Aitchison.
Yeah, Bodwin, just one guy that doesn't like to lose. And he'll do whatever it takes to try and get those victories. And we'll play the interview with Dylan Smoskowitz coming up in the first intermission, and where he talks a bit about the choice of going with the co-captains this season. So stay tuned for that in the intermission. As the Ice Dogs right now have the neutral zone, Reed will send this one deep. After it is Gallianov. Newton took that one away. Puck's bouncing. Colts, they'll recover. Emerton gets to the line, not out, kept in there by Reed. Gallianov has it in his skates. He's knocked over. Puck goes back behind the net. Eliasson will continue it around to Emerton. Puck gets the line, not out, kept in by Reisnecker. Puck goes behind the Colts net. Eliasson with the hit. Emerton trying to tie up Gallianov. It's taken away by Desiderio. Nicholas Desiderio flips this one out to center ice. Schneid carrying it in. Reisnecker blocked that pass attempt. Puck goes behind the Niagara net. Good effort here. Jaden Newton puts it off the back of the net, trying to send it out in front. There's McCormick, but couldn't get there in time. At the point, Armstrong can't keep that one in. Puck's at center ice, picked up by Edgar. Vader flips this one back into the Niagara zone. Chasing after it for the Ice Dogs. Barnes, McCormick now in a battle with Zada. McCormick, he's taken down by Zada. Puck's in front. Edgar's shot stopped by Ermolenko. McCormick couldn't get to that rebound in time. Puck goes to the corner. And now Edgar is hauled down. Colts want a penalty, but none coming. Reisnecker comes out from behind the net. He's just going to send this one down the length of the ice, and that's going to be an icing call against Niagara. But what an effort from both Edgar and McCormick on that shift.
Now, this so-called fourth line for Barrie just doing an outstanding job on the forecheck, and they're able to keep the Niagara Ice Dogs in their own zone, and it leads to a couple of great chances for rookie Eamon Edgar.
We haven't seen too much of Eamon Edgar, but from what we saw there, he's got a motor.
Yeah, he's obviously one of the players that, talking to Marty Williamson, who he's really excited about. And, again, you can see those tendencies. And sometimes it just takes these guys a little bit to find their way in the league and just get a little bit bigger and stronger.
Salandra will send this one back to the point. Passmore sets up Aitchison. He's riding the blue line. Now he'll pass it up. Salandra on the wing. Comes back to the point, but Kevin He knocked it off his stick, so they'll regroup at center. Salandra sending that back in for the Colts. Reisnecker on the far side. Gets the line. Kept in by Lowe. He'll just dump that one in. Barnes back to pick it up for the Ice Dogs. Deflected by Zada, but that was before the red line. Now they're waving off the icing. Aitchison to Passmore. Aitchison just took a hard hit there from Kevin He. Puck's in the neutral zone. Ice Dogs pick it up. Frolov sending that one over to Reisnecker. Cross ice feed. Trying to find Patterson. That doesn't connect. And now it will be an icing call against the Ice Dogs with 7:12 remaining in the first period.
Yeah, this Niagara team, when you got expectations to take that next step, and again, this early in the season. I mean, we're still early in the year, and guys coming back, and they still missing some talent. Obviously, Liam Spencer suspended, and Brady Waslin, another big forward up there, young forward for Niagara, out of the lineup, continues in Wysack. So, they got some talent out. Barrie, of course, still missing Emil Hemming, who's away in the American Hockey League with the Texas Stars.
Well, we'll be finding out soon, I'm sure, about Hemming as Asadorian sends it a cross shot wide of the net. Firing that one was Crombie. He had an open cage. What a great opportunity there for Calvin Crombie. Ice Dogs pick it up in front of their own net. That's Grayson Tiller. He's going to get this one out. Knocked down by Eliasson at his own blue line. Bodwin over to Asadorian. Crombie carrying this one in for the Colts. Taken away. Following it up is Asadorian. Colts with possession again. Eliasson at the point takes the shot. Hits Bodwin. Bodwin fans on. He's got Frolov in front of him. And then Tiller, a one-man wrecking crew in the corner. And that one's going to go out of play. Grayson Tiller throwing hits on Crombie, Bodwin, and Asadorian.
You got to be physical. And Tiller, hey, there's no friends. Who are you? But what an opportunity there for Calvin Crombie in front of the net, that wide open cage. And he's been pretty good for Barrie early this season, obviously coming out from the Brantford Bulldogs in that trade, the overage winger. And what an opportunity there. And you know what I like about him? Sometimes those guys kind of put up the head up to the rafters. You can see the frustration, but Crombie, nope, right back at it.
Well, he's tied for the team lead in scoring, 3 goals, 3 assists, good for 6 points, along with Kayshawn Aitchison and Brad Gardner. When he came into this season, everyone was saying, okay, he's going to be that sandpaper, he's going to be that grit, but his passing ability has been phenomenal to see, and just that offensive IQ that he has around the net.
Yeah, talking to, GM Marty Williamson, I mean, he talked about it. Look, this guy brings more. I mean, obviously, we know that there's the leadership factor and a veteran with grit, but this guy given an offensive opportunity, that's what he is here in Barrie. I mean, that was a very deep Brantford team. You come over to Barrie and you get a chance to play on the top 2 lines and, get some power play time, and he's making the most of it.
Desiderio taking the puck to the net. Yermolenko is holding the post. Puck will come to the near corner now. Desiderio in a battle with Delche. Schneid kicked it there, but Delche right in the middle. Smith can't get it out for the Ice Dogs. Following it up is Gallianov, gets the line. Armstrong's there. Armstrong trying to keep that puck from escaping the zone. Picked up here by Schneid. That's taken away by Reed. Now the Ice Dogs take it back the other way. Reed's going to chase after it, trying to bounce off Vader. Colts will take it around their own net. Desiderio, quick pass. Here's Schneid. Reaches the blue line, through in the neutral zone. Schneid gives it up to Newton. Newton back to Schneid. From the corner, he's going to skate around the net. Around the boards it goes. Aitchison at the point. Passmore takes the shot, deflected. That goes wide. That was Newton who got a piece of it. Nice Dogs forced back behind their own net. Delche being chased there by Newton. McCormick runs over his man. That was Zada. Colts move it. Here's Edgar. His shot right on goal, and Yermolenko making the save. As this fourth line, I know we already talked about them once, but it's amazing how often Smoskowitz is going with them, that confidence he has.
Well, just heavy on the forecheck. And, Jaden Newton, who I thought had a pretty solid game. I mean, sometimes you see guys, maybe they don't get on the score sheet, but the contributions were huge last night. Newton, about 3 or 4 really big hits. And just that time, again, the work down low to kind of create traffic and get in there in the puck and muck it up. And, I mean, you got McCormick coming back into the lineup tonight, and the young, skilled Edgar. I mean, it's just been a really good combination here. Especially here early on here in this contest.
Yeah, still in Smoskowitz right now. So many options with the young players. We're seeing that too with the defensive unit. Armstrong now back in, and he's fitting right in. It's as if he hasn't skipped a beat.
Yeah, I think when it does, you get guys kind of coming in and out of the lineup, and that's what Dylan Smoskowitz. That's what we wanted to see, is that competitive nature amongst the guys, as a team, and we're seeing that here. It's been a pretty solid first period for the Barrie Colts. In St. Catharines this afternoon, and again, that's what you want. You want a good start. they've had issues with starts early this season, but much better. I mean, even yesterday, I know they gave up that early goal and a phantom call there in the power play that led to a power play. But again, I thought they had a pretty solid period, got the lead, and then were able to build on it. And that's what you want to see. You want to see them come out on the road here and put the kind of pedal to the metal.
I like how you brought up the phantom call from last night. There's a shot to the net. McCormick couldn't get a stick on it. Yarmolenko made the pad save.
Brad Gardner was nowhere near the play.
Here's a chance for the ice. That's Ethan Zada who puts it 5-0 on Ben Horebic, and it's now 1-0 for the IceDogs.
Well, again, you talk about talented players, and Ethan Zada, give him an opportunity like that in front of the net, and he's not going to miss very often. He's one of those guys, ended up missing the last couple of games in that series with Barrie, but he was just outstanding against Barrie in that first round last year. You could see this guy really coming. I mean, just the level of talent there, and he finds a way to squeeze the puck underneath Ben Horebic and the IceDogs on top.
That's now 4 goals on the season for Ethan Zada. He came into this game second in team scoring behind Riley Patterson. So the Tampa Bay Lightning prospect making his presence known in this game physically and on the scoreboard.
Well, again, the Colts off to a decent start, but that's what it takes. With a guy like Zada, too, you can't give him the puck in front of the net, and chances are you're going to be in deep trouble. And Horebic tried to squeeze the pads, but nice job by Zada to sneak that one underneath him.
So it's an icing call against Niagara, so they're bringing the faceoff back into their territory. Scrambled draw. Carter Lowe had it for a moment, but the IceDogs get it back down the ice. Puck's rolling towards the goal. Emerton's there to collect it for the Colts. He on the forecheck. Puck's turned over and back goals here. It's 2-0.
Well, that's what you do. I mean, you follow it up, take the lead, and come right back and add another one to it. These goals just seconds apart. I think 21 seconds apart. The 2 goals. It's some good work. And
well, that was all Kevin He on the forecheck, chasing Cole Emerton, and gave the puck up right to Doherty. And Zada with the easy deflection as Horebic trying to slide across in time, but quick 2 goals here from the Niagara IceDogs. They've got the 2-0 lead, 4:41 still to play here in the first period.
See now for Barrie, you give up those 2 quick goals. You've had a solid first period, but yourself trailing 2-0.
So the IceDogs putting the Colts in a bit of a hole here as the Barrie Colts have it deep in their own zone. Through center, Crombie receives the pass. He'll skate this one ahead, trying to set up Asadorian in the corner. Asadorian tied up by Tiller, the 2 players who were traded for one another. Puck sent out to center ice. Vader turns it over to Patterson. Patterson trying to go ahead for Edgar, but it's the Colts taking it back the other way. Cole Beaudouin enters the zone, but Calvin Crombie just ahead of the play, as that's going to be an offside call against Barrie.
Talked about Kevin He and that top line of the IceDogs. Young rookie Edgar. Just a ton of skill, and to give them opportunities in that time. Just a nice job. It finds out it in front of the net by Doherty and the easy tap-in.
Face-off won by Niagara as Shanowski will skate this through center, breaks his stick. He was trying to pass it. Desiderio tying up his man. IceDogs move back to the point. Delche with the shot, blocked in front by Passmore. Kevin He will send it around. Desiderio chasing after it here for the Barrie Colts. Flips that one ahead to Schneid. Schneid have that one go off his skate, and then he takes out Kevin He in the process. Colts within the neutral zone. Aitchison is going to flip this one deep. Ends up behind the Niagara net. Desiderio puts it off the side of the goal. Gets it again in the corner. He'll go back to Aitchison, but that pass too hot to handle. And it's going to sail down the length of the ice. Horebic out of his net to play it. 3:20 left to go in the first period. 2-0 Niagara. Both goals coming from Ethan Zada. And Schneid will tip this one into the zone. Icing waved off. Reisenecker back to play it here for the Ice Dogs. Barnes back behind his own goal. He'll move this one ahead. Barnes finds Reed at center. Reed carrying it in for Niagara, being chased there by McCormick. McCormick knocked him off stride. There's a one-timer. Gallianov hits the side of the net. Emerton's going to come up from behind the net. There's a broken stick there in the way of Edgar trying to receive that pass. Gallianov takes a hard hit from McCormick. Puck's deep in the Barrie zone. Ice Dogs get it again. Gallianov back to Barnes at the point. Takes the shots, and Hrebeck able to make that glove save. As Niagara has Barrie a bit on their heels right now.
Well, again, the Barrie Colts, they're much better last night, but some issues giving up, those odd man rushes, but those prime scoring chances. Another one right there. Gallianov just rifled that one in front, found all alone. The Colts got to be careful. I mean, again, you see Zadada was left all alone in front, and he gets an opportunity and buries it, and Gallianov comes close to adding for the lead there.
Yeah, it's always a threat up front. This Niagara IceDogs offensive unit just so deep, so many options. We saw that again with that line with Gallianov. As we get the face-off to the right of Ben Hrebeck. Colts will win this draw. Aitchison from the corner. He'll send this one ahead. Too much under that. Ends up deep in the Niagara zone. Frolov will play it. Tiller gets it out to center. Kept in by Aitchison. He's going to send this one deep. Frolov is there to pick it up for the Ice Dogs. Sends it around. Aitchison delivering the check. Salandra kept that one in momentarily. Now the puck ends up in the far corner. Grayson Tiller will pick it up for Niagara. At the point, kept in by Passmore. That shot wide of the net. Brad Gardner chasing after it. Gardner tied up there by Edgar. Ice Dogs will move this one out. The rookie forward for the Ice Dogs. Stopped by Brad Gardner, however. Salandra receives the pass. He falls. Salandra trying to play it. Sends that one back to Gardner. Colts waiting for reinforcements. The puck will be taken away by Patterson. Robrick reaches the neutral zone. He's going to dump this one in. Hrebeck back behind his own net to play it. Leaves it for Vader. Big Vader. He'll skate this one forward through center. Finds Asadorian on the wing. Asadorian with a shot. Yarmolenko the save. Asadorian trying to play it. Baudouin back to the point. Picked up there by Vader. His shot deflected. It goes over the net. Getting a stick on it was Baudouin. At the blue line, Armstrong takes the shot blocked in front. Crombie overskates it. Asadorian had it for a moment, but Kevin He will just smack this one out to center. Here's Cole Baudouin carrying it in again for the Colts. Can't get that one to go, as that one was blocked by Shanowski, and now the Ice Dogs clear it. That's going to go roll all the way on net. So no icing as Hrebeck will play it. We're in the final minute now of the first period. Calvin Crombie receives the pass, but they're going to call this offside against the Barrie Colts with 49 seconds remaining.
Again, shots 13-10 Niagara, and Ice Dogs just turning it up a notch here in the latter stages of the third to get rewarded twice. The Colts trying to push back, and the Colts, you just gotta. There's that tendency to want to open up things when you give up two quick goals like that, just 24 seconds apart. And talk about hockey being a 60-minute game, and that's why you can't take the foot off the pedal. I mean, two quick goals like that have just turned this first period around.
Yeah, 'cause this was a really strong start for the Barrie Colts. It's just those two quick goals from Ethan Zada that changed the dynamic of this game as the Ice Dogs can't get it in the zone. That was blocked by Desiderio, ends up back in the Niagara zone. Frolov will start off back behind his own net. He's going to take his time. Desiderio there on the forecheck. Gallianov wants Frolov to get going. Now he'll skate this one forward. Here's Reed through the middle. Hayden Reed dumping this one in. Around the boards it goes. Eliasson on the far side. Trying to get this one out. Kept in by Niagara. Reed down behind the net. Put it out in front. That was blocked. Eliasson takes a hit on that Ice Dog player in the corner. Play continues, and that'll do it for the opening 20. As now we're going to get a penalty after the buzzer. Gabriel Eliasson took a run at Gallianov, and now he's surrounded by Ice Dog players, and Colts are going to want to be careful here. There's already one penalty going out to Gabriel Eliasson, and now everybody getting a bit of a partner. Frolov and Aitchison, and then Schneid with Reed. Actually, it's Tiller going after Gabriel Eliasson right now at center ice. A little surprised by that, former defenseman. So some frustrations here for the Barrie Colts. Gabriel Eliason, he's going to be escorted off. We still have Jaden Newton mixing it up with Ray Smith, the former North Bay Battalion.
Looks like the Colts are going to start the second period shorthanded, and be careful. Obviously, Eliason, you love that physical game that he brings, but that tendency to kind of go over the line sometimes there. And I think we're going to get a Niagara power play to start the second period.
So it was quite the start to this hockey game. The Barrie Colts putting on a lot of pressure, making things difficult for the Niagara IceDogs. But at the end, after Ethan Zada scoring a couple of quick goals, the Niagara IceDogs kind of getting the under the skin of the Barrie Colts. But still, a lot of hockey to be played here. We're still having conversations out on the ice. Cole Baudouin right now getting an explanation after Kayshawn Aitchison also received a penalty. He was sent off. But never a dull moment when these two teams go against each other. So we are at the first intermission. Colts down 2-0 against the Niagara IceDogs. And we will go to the group chat during the intermission. If you have any questions or comments you have about the Barrie Colts or anything going on around the Ontario Hockey League, you can put those down there. And since we had some technical issues at the start of the game, that was me putting cables in the wrong spot, I wanted to do the coach's corner because Dylan Smoskowitz did talk a bit about the co-captain. So we'll go to the coach's corner, brought to you by Mariposa Skating School, and we'll join you on the other side.
So we're joined by Barrie Colts head coach Dylan Smoskowitz. And Dylan, last night you had the return of Cole Baudouin, and it just seemed as though the team was reignited with Baudouin's play, Aitchison, and I felt even Crombie had a great game last night.
Yeah, it was a much better team effort for sure. But you look at a guy like Cole Baudouin and the way that he's wired and his DNA, he just naturally draws guys into the fight with him. And it was great for our team to respond to that. But again, some really big efforts up and down our lineup. It was more of a complete 60-minute game. I thought we won battles. I thought we won races. I thought we competed hard. I thought the energy on the bench was much more positive. So hopefully build off that today.
And also, you just announced that Aitchison and Baudouin co-captains. What made you come to that decision to have a co-captain situation instead of just one captain?
It was honestly, when I got the job as head coach here, it was not even weeks, but months of going back and forth, and every day it was okay, one then the other, one then the other. I knew it was a two-horse race here. And then one day it just dawned on me. I said, I've spent months thinking about this. There's got to be a reason for that. There is no right answer. The only right answer is to put a C on both these guys' jerseys, because both these guys make the team better when they are captains. I think that on all the other 19 teams in the league, either one of them would be a captain. We're just very, very fortunate to have both on one team.
And you guys snapped that 4-game losing streak yesterday. That must have been a big relief that you overcome that obstacle, and now you can try and build some momentum here against the Niagara IceDogs.
Yeah, the message to the guys with that losing streak was, who are we doing it for? We just want to do it for ourselves. It's not that we need to win. We don't need to work. We don't need to compete, but we want to. We want to win for our teammates. We want to work hard for our teammates. We want to compete hard for our teammates. And you really saw that come through last night. I was very proud of the guys. I'm looking forward to seeing that again today.
And this is a unique game, too, because there's some familiar faces on both sides. Acidorian playing against his former team, and then you got Tiller and Patterson on the other side. Does this have any sort of different feel to it, or do you try to approach it as just another game?
There's 2 points in the line, and the guys who are playing against old teams and old teammates, they know that as well. So as much as your first shift, the warm-up might be a little bit awkward, seeing some familiar faces and a couple smiles, as soon as that puck drops, I can't speak to Niagara, but I know our guys are going to be all business. And I'm really looking forward to watching our guys compete hard today.
And this is now the first game against a Central Division opponent. Is this kind of a measuring stick for this season now that you've played so many games against Western Conference teams? Now you're finally playing teams in your own division. Is that something that you're focused on, trying to get that fast start?
It's not so much of a measuring stick at this point in the year. It's still a bit early for that. But I will say, it's our first 4-point game. And when you get into March and it's all about the standings and 1 or 2 points here or there can make the world a difference, it's about games in October. And it's about games in October against division opponents. So for us to be playing our first one today against Niagara, it's not a 2-point game, it's a 4-point game. And I expect our guys to play it like that.
So that was, let me turn that down a little bit. That was Dylan Smoskowitz, the head coach of the Barrie Colts, talking about the game pre-game. We had the air at the beginning, so I just wanted to play that as Dylan Smoskowitz talking about how this is a 4-point game here tonight between the Colts and the IceDogs, and even just talking about the decision to have the co-captains with Cole Baudouin and Kayshawn Aitchison. So we're now going to get back on track. We've got a player interview here for the first intermission, and we were just looking at the timekeepers. They were having a lengthy discussion with the officials about the everything that happened at the tail end. We have Gabriel Eliason handed a 5-minute major as a result of the situation at the end, and now we've got the clock running. So a bit of a delay in the intermission. So we've got a lot of time to converse. So if you do have any questions or anything you want to say about the Barrie Colts, the Ontario Hockey League, you can put that in the chat down below. But before the game, I had a chance to catch up with former Barrie Colt Grayson Tiller, who was traded here in the offseason. And of course, Tiller, he's from the Niagara region, so he's pretty excited to be back here, but still at the same time, finding it a little challenging with that transition over to Niagara after playing so many years with Barrie Colts. So this is my conversation with Grayson Tiller of the Niagara IceDogs pregame.
Catching up with former Barrie Colt Grayson Tiller, who's now a member of the Niagara IceDogs. Grayson, you spent the majority of your career playing with the Barrie Colts. Is it strange here today preparing to face your former team for the first time?
Yeah, for sure. It's a little weird, but, I had the summer and the start of the season kind of settle in here. And, yeah, it's going to be weird, but, I'm up for it and I'm excited.
And you're from the Niagara area, so this is a bit of a homecoming for you. Are you excited to step up your game here to play for the IceDogs?
Yeah, for sure. I was brought in as a culture changer here in a leadership role to help change the leadership and the culture of this team, and I feel like we've done that so far, and we're off to a good start.
And you mentioned that good start. You're playing with a former teammate, or current teammate, Riley Patterson. Does that make it easier at all when you have that familiar face joining you here on this IceDogs team?
Yeah, for sure. When I found out about Patty, I was obviously stoked about it, but, we have a great team in there. We have one of the best rooms I've ever been a part of, so it's been good so far.
And are you looking forward to that first trip back to Barrie so you can see familiar faces, your billet family and whatnot?
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited. My billet family became a second family to me. I still talk to them every day. And definitely see the friends and family that I made up there is going to be exciting.
And here tonight against the Barrie Colts team that is in the Central Division, which means this is a 4-point game. I know it's still early in the regular season, but these games are pretty big, especially when you factor in a 68-game schedule.
Yeah, I feel like right now every game's big, especially to start off the year. But yeah, being division rivals is obviously a big game, but we're ready for it and we've been preparing.
So that was Barrie Colts, or former Barrie Colt Grayson Tiller, as he's able to catch up with him pregame there as he's getting set for this game here tonight against his former club. And for Grayson Tiller, what a great leader he was with the Barrie Colts, and now getting to do that with the Niagara IceDogs. He mentioned in that interview how it's about changing the dynamic in the dressing room and just having that change, especially after all that happened last year with this Niagara IceDogs group.
Yeah, he's just a character kid, and never mind what he brings on the ice, which is pretty good in itself. But the ability of adding a veteran and a voice like that in the room, and just a guy that competes in and out. Every shift he's out there, he's competing, and just a real team guy here in Barrie. We know that, we saw that for a few years, and a big reason why he's in Niagara. The IceDogs looking to change that culture a bit in that room, and Tiller's one of the big guys to help do that.
And we saw him out on the ice in the first period, and I think you mentioned there's no friends out on the ice. There was that one shift he was knocking over old teammates at the end of the first period there. Him and Gabriel Eliason were mixing it up. He's got a no fear kind of attitude, which helps this young IceDogs team.
Yeah, that's part of Grayson's game, that grit, and never a guy that's never afraid to kind of mix it up. And even with big 6'7" Eliason there, he was he was ready. But two familiar faces there, but. No doubt. I mean, what Grayson brings, there's so many areas. I mean, obviously the character, but on the ice alone, a guy that can kill penalties, be a physical presence back there, and just a smart defenseman, keeps things simple. When you saw the offense pop up last year as well, and he showed that he can contribute in those ways as well. But again, just one of those defensemen that brings so many different things that help a hockey club.
And the player that came back in that trade was Alex Asadorian. Asadorian still looking for that first goal as a member of the Barrie Colts, but just the way he plays, and we've been seeing it pick up these last few games, the goal scoring is going to come.
Yeah, he's getting the points, assists, but, you got a feeling it's going to come. Last night, I felt bad for him. He had a couple of really good chances, and you could see it. a bit coming, but you get the feeling that it's going to come, and then after that, maybe 2, 3, the 4, the next ones. But he's been a good addition out there, and as well too. I get these guys are learning new line mates, and all of a sudden you got Cole Bodwin come back last night, and Calvin Crombie, and they've had pretty good chemistry out there for a line that's been just thrown together last night.
So we are about still 11 minutes away from the start of the second period, so we can open up the chat. So if you have any comments or questions you want to talk about the Barrie Colts or anything else going on around the Ontario Hockey League, you can put the comment below. And we do see that Tierras has put on a few comments, really appreciating that we've got commentary here on the road. And it's also shaping up to be a real good team for the Barrie Colts. And we're seeing this already. For the Barrie Colts, they had that 4-game losing streak, but you could still see the signs that this is a team that's still coming together. They've got a lot of that potential. It's just trying to find it and start getting it on a consistent basis.
Yeah, I think there's that inconsistency, and that's something they're going to have to work through here. And obviously, again, too early in the year, like I said, you're learning kind of new line mates and new roles for some of these guys too that are coming in here. And you see Salantra and Schneid, have some success here early on, and Desiderio in the last few games. Again, this is one of those guys that I call it like meat and potatoes, but that guy just like he's all over the ice, not afraid to. And you see the offense, and of course that one last night that was disallowed that he tried to slide under the side of the net.
Well, that was a cheeky way to try and get a goal.
And that big smile. But I mean that's part of this club too. And I think obviously all the teams are kind of finding their way here early on, and but you've seen flashes. You've seen flashes of what can be, and even the game. Look at this first period. I mean, I thought they were pretty solid, but in a matter of 24 seconds, boom, boom, right? Zada scores a pair of goals, and you're trailing, and that's what that's the great thing about junior hockey is that things could turn on a dime, and now the Colts still have 40 minutes to turn things around and get back in this hockey.
Now, Ray Guy is asking if anyone knows anything about Nolan Newton. Well, we can say that Newton is back in the NJOHL, playing with the Greater Sudbury Cubs. He was at training camp. He played in a few games, but ended up going back up north to his hometown.
Yeah, Nolan. I mean, he showed flashes again. Another guy that I think when he came to camp a couple of times, I think he was looking for bigger ice time, and he decided that he was going to go back to the Northern Ontario League and get that bigger role. Where in Barrie, especially with last year's team, that was a really deep team. He knew he kind of maybe saw that he wasn't going to get the opportunities that he wanted, and he decided to go down. And a little bit surprised when he left camp again this year early, but hopefully Nolan, he's done really well in that league. And, again, he showed flashes here that he could be a guy that, can put up those points in the Ontario Hockey League.
But I think it just goes to show how competitive camp was this year. And it's not just the Barrie Colts. We're seeing it across the Ontario Hockey League with the whole new NCAA situation that it's that whole dynamic where you're signing in free agents and the Barrie Colts bring in those American players. They're also getting players who've committed to the NCAA. And it's just a lot harder right now to make these OHL clubs. And even when you look at the first round pick ending up going to the Newmarket Hurricanes, it's just that intense this year in the Ontario Hockey League.
Talking to Marty Williamson, he goes, look, I like it. I mean, I like that these kids get an option about what they want to do with their careers, that they can continue the careers in college hockey. And, there's a lot of focus at the back end, obviously, what's going to happen with the big names, going off to NCAA and when they're going to leave. But, at the front end, all of a sudden you got a lot more Americans coming this way. All of a sudden there's not that idea that, hey, if I play an OHL game, I'm going to lose my scholarship eligibility. That's gone, and it's brought a lot more talent. It's made things that much more competitive. And, I think, too, over time, Mike, I think you see some of these guys that, maybe stay in the Ontario Hockey League, either, and again, I keep going. There's that everyday practices. There's a lot, almost double the games, that type of thing. And I think players are going to find what their best route is. It may take a couple of years here, but I think we'll see them work through that.
Well, it's going to be fascinating, too, to see which players are going to start coming back to the Canadian Hockey League when they're maybe not getting the ice time that they had hoped for playing in the NCAA. Think of a player like if Anthony Romani decided, I want to come back to the Ontario Hockey League. It's going to be fascinating just to see how that dynamic could happen with these players that may come back.
Yeah, again, and that's something that you're probably going to see, right? You're going to see guys come back, and and make those decisions. But and again, that just creates even more competition, right? Especially, you look at some of the guys and you wonder, okay, well, Barrie Semensov. I mean, it's the first time I think in their club history that they sent a first round pick, down that didn't make the club in the first year. But it just goes to show you how competitive. And there's no mistake, talking to scouts and people that watch these guys game in and game out. They know Semensov's a big talent. When he's going to be 18, 19, he's going to be an impact player. But sometimes it takes a little bit of time, and with the competitiveness as it is, to get into the lineup. That's what's happening. Some of these guys just going to get delayed a bit.
So Paul saying, yes, it's interesting about the co-captains. Nice to hear Gene on the broadcast. So see, you do have a fan club.
Well, thank you.
And Scott then also mentioning the co-captains. He's asking if it's a home and away split. Last night we saw that Cole Baudouin wore the C on the white sweaters on home ice, and this afternoon Kayshawn Aitchison is wearing the C on the blue. So I guess that's how we're going to be seeing it. One's going to be captain on the home games, and then one's the captain on the road.
I think they're going to be like game in and kind of switching back and forth. But, again, look, I mean, obviously the letter's there, but, these guys are both captain, even if they don't got the letter on their jersey that day. But, again, I mean, two prime guys. I mean, we all thought Cole Baudouin was going to get the captaincy, but obviously Kayshawn Aitchison as well. When you watch him down around the room with these younger guys and, what a guy to look up to, right? I mean, you got Cole Baudouin, whose work ethic is just phenomenal, and these guys, young guys, are going to learn a lot from that. Then you got a guy like Aitchison, who just wears his heart on his sleeve and is just a battler out there as well. And just really two really good young role models for these young guys.
Well, Dylan Smoskowitz said it in the interview how if these two guys were on different teams, they'd be that team's captain. He just says that leadership is there for both Cole Baudouin and Kayshawn Aitchison. And I remember when we did a game notes on the Rogers broadcast, we had a hard time. Yes, Baudouin we expect would be captain, but it's like, but you do have that good quality as well with a guy like Kayshawn Aitchison.
Yeah, I mean, Cash is just a great character too, right? Like, I mean, just one of those guys that that always smiling and stuff like that, and it rubs off on the other guys. You got a guy like Baudouin, who, like you said, has got that attitude that I want to win every game, I want to win every shift, and then you got Aitchison as well that doesn't back down an inch, and these are all things that these young guys are watching game in and game out. Trust me, they're looking at it. They're looking to see how they act in the dressing room. They're looking to see how they work in practice and stuff. And those are two outstanding models, role models to have the young guys learn from.
So right now the Barrie Colts do find themselves down 2-0 after the first period, and I want to thank everyone who's contributed with the chat so far. And it's been a fun atmosphere here in Niagara. The score horn is a little gets you jumping a little bit. You're not prepared for it there, but we're making the best of the situation here with this broadcast, seeing what the Colts are going to be able to do here on the road.
Well, you get that game last night, and of course, you go home and write the story after, and then get up for today, and you hear that horn and go, okay, I'm up now. No mistake about that. But we just want to get a chance to thank our sponsors for hopping on board here. We're looking forward to adding more here in the near future, and just thanks to the Mariposa School of Skating who stepped up this week to support Barrie Colts hockey in our broadcast. And we're hoping to like I said, bring that to you. It's something that the Barrie Colts organization hasn't had. I know the team's excited about it. We're excited about doing it here, and just continue to grow from here.
Yeah, and we also want to say thank you to Frontline Hockey Apparel for their sponsorship. And if you have a business and you want to sponsor, you can always send us an email from the booth with mike@gmail.com, and we can definitely get you and your business a part of this to bring this broadcast to Barrie Colt fans. Our goal is to go to every road game this season. We're even on the long road trips. We'll see how that all goes aboard.
Those long bus trips that I've made many a time over the years, and but look, I mean, you just love being around like the game of hockey and around the rink here, and just around this organization for so many years. And Mike, I mean, I think for fans too, you get to see these young guys come in, they're young, kind of bright-eyed, and just to see them develop, and never mind year over year, but game over game. To see them take the next step in their careers, and then next, you're watching NHL hockey, and they are. And you feel like you're part of that as a fan, that you be able to see him learn and develop. And that's what makes OHL hockey and junior hockey so great.
So the players are now coming back on the ice. So we are getting ready for the second period of play here between the Colts and the Niagara IceDogs. So we will get things set up and ready to go. But the Barrie Colts, they will be shorthanded to start the second period. Gabriel Eliasson handed a 5-minute major. So Colts already down 2-0 in this hockey game. This is a pretty big hole to try and dig themselves out of.
Well, again, you want to avoid that stuff. You get down 2-0 in 40 minutes, but now that special teams work is important here as the Colts will try to keep that lead at 2 for the Ice Dogs. A great opportunity here for the 5-minute power play.
So just trying to see who else is going to be in the penalty box. We got Kayshawn Aitchison, who is going to go in along with Grayson Tiller. So these are key players at the end of that first period who are going to be in the penalty box. As now you got to try and figure out the lines and how you're going to manage this with the penalty kill and even for Niagara and their power play.
Well, again, you get those big blue liners that are key parts of the penalty kill, and that means other guys going to have to step up. And it really just is a number on your lines too, because obviously you lean on certain guys to get through that. I was talking to Dylan Smosquitz after the game last night. Now, obviously, with a quick turnaround, I asked him, I said, these are the games where you really need everybody on board on that bench because, you look at the ice time after that game last night, and you need guys to step in and play more minutes and fill in. And, like I said, Mike, here, and get some key guys in the penalty box. So that means other guys are going to have to step up and take that role.
So Eamon Edgar is going to serve the penalty for Gabriel Eliasson. So Eliasson services unavailable for a while here after being handed that major penalty. And we'll get the second period underway. Cole Baudouin out on the ice. He's got Cody Stewart on his wing along with Evan Passmore and Cole Emerton. And we will get this second period underway. Ice Dogs up 2-0. Ethan Zada, the lone goal scorer for Niagara. 2 quick goals in the first period. As we'll try this face-off once more, and we are back underway. Face-off won by the Colts. Emerton will take it back behind his own net as the Ice Dogs have a lengthy power play here to work with. As they're just announcing the penalty right now. So it's a 5-minute match penalty for cross-checking against Gabriel Eliasson. So that's a big blow for the blue line here for the Barrie Colts. Right now, the Ice Dogs moving in ahead. Page, his pass blocked by Emerton as the puck goes deep behind the Colts net. Baudouin will pick it up, and he's going to send this one down the length of the ice. Colts right now trying to keep things simple on this penalty kill. Devin Heat comes out from behind the net. Robrick receives the pass at center ice. He's going to carry this one in for Niagara. Robrick dropping it back to He at the point. Back to Robrick. Backhand pass. Cage. Back to He. Robrick at the face-off dot. Down to the corner. Zada. He'll trade places with Robrick. Passing it out in front. Blocked by Vader. Colts trying to get it out. Kept in by He. Across to Patterson. A one-timer stopped by Harebic. And that's going to sail back into the Niagara zone. It's a bit of a slower start on this power play for the Niagara IceDogs as Kevin He now skates it in. He'll pass this one over to Patterson, dropping it back. There's a shot from the point, kicked aside by Harebic. Colts trying to get to it. It's at the line and out. Now it's Schneid. He's got a chance shorthanded. Schneid on a breakaway. Forehand, backhand scores! William Schneid, shorthanded, makes it a 2-1 score. And what a goal there from the young forward.
Well, what a big goal for the Barrie Colts. Get that 5-minute major. The Ice Dogs looking to add to the lead, and just great work to get that puck out. And William Schneid, what a finish. I was going to pick up this loose puck at the blue line, race in, get around the defenseman, and then just slide that one under the goaltender, Yermolenko. And what a move and finish by Schneid here. And the Colts with a big shorthanded marker to cut the lead in half.
Well, like I was saying, the Ice Dogs kind of casual on this power play, and William Schneid took advantage to get that breakaway. Now his 3rd goal of the season. So the pressure starting to mount here on Niagara as Passmore knocks that one out of the air. Puck still in the Barrie zone. Ice Dogs moving around. Here's Smith. That's Smith sending it back to the point. Frolov to Gallianov. We'll turn this one around, sending it back to the blue line. Frolov quickly sends it across. Puck's in the slot. Ice Dogs can't get to it. Emerton comes up with it, and he'll send it around the boards. Kept in at the far side by Reisnecker. Ice Dogs continue moving around. Reisnecker receives the pass. He's tripped up. Play continues. Ice Dogs with it. There's a shot from Edgar off the backboards. Puck's loose side of the net. Niagara regroups. They come out of the corner. It's Smith. Looks to the net. Takes the shot. Blocked by Emerton. That stung him. And Stewart able to get this one out. Power play for the Ice Dogs now down to 2:20 remaining, as they haven't been able to get too many quality chances yet on this power play. Ice Dogs get to their own blue line. They're going to drop this one back to Ryan Robrick. Robrick marching through the neutral zone. Sets up Hage. Hage had that bounce on him. His pass blocked. And Vader will just get this one down the length of the ice. Yarmolenko there to play it. Leaves it there for Frolov. Less than 2 minutes now remaining in the penalty to Eliasson. Ice Dogs reach center. We're going to dump this one back. Patterson giving it up to Robrick. Puck comes back to the point. Ice Dogs making a change. Kevin He couldn't touch it, or it would have been too many men. Hage back to He at center ice. Kevin He enters the zone. Gives that up to Robrick. He's going to send this one around. Ice Dogs can't get to it. Vader passing it up to Newton. 2-on-1 developing here, shorthanded for the Colts. Jaden Newton through the neutral zone. He's got Ethan Armstrong with him. And what a diving play by He to take away the chance by Newton. Kevin He may have saved a second shorthanded goal against. Riley Patterson dropping it back to He. Robrick enters the zone. He's going to drop it back to Hage. Hage takes the hit from Newton, and Newton again will get it out. This time he'll pass it up to Schneid, shorthanded again. Breakaway Schneid, shot, stop, rebound, and picked up by Patterson. That's now 3 odd man rushes on this penalty kill for the Barrie Colts. Riley Patterson now fires that one over the net, bouncing in front, loose puck. Robrick trying to settle it down. Takes the shot, and a nice glove save by Hrebeck. But my, oh my, that's 3 odd man rushes shorthanded for the Barrie Colts.
Ice Dogs a little bit sloppy and paid the price once and almost a couple of times more. But that opportunity by Schneid, that's the second breakaway, shorthanded. Buried the first one that time. Yarmolenko with a huge stop there to keep this game, this Ice Dogs lead.
Face off to the left of Hrebeck, won by the Colts. Aitchison after it, takes the hit from Smith. Crombie trying to send it around. The original clearing attempt was blocked. Second one out to center ice. Frolov inside his own blue line, builds momentum, skates this one into the Barrie zone. Frolov in the corner, looks back to the point, finds Smith. Smith in the middle, takes the shots, and Hrebeck makes the glove save as he had Edgar right there in front of him.
Sean Aitchison giving a little bit of a tap on the shin pads. Edgar kind of looked. No. This Ice Dogs power play. I mean, what an opportunity. You get those 2 late goals in the first. You get a 5-minute major after the lice and it's kicked out of the game. And it's the Barrie Colts with the better opportunities.
They just haven't been able to get much of anything on the power play, which is now down to 21 seconds. So great penalty kill here from the Barrie Colts. Power play still ongoing. Salandra has it deep in his own zone, gets the line and out. Not able to keep that in was Reisnecker. Delayed offside against Niagara, and Salandra will just dump it into the Niagara zone. Yarmolenko playing it around. Ice Dogs with possession at center ice. They're going to carry this one in. That's right, Smith. Smith ahead. Shot stopped by Hrebeck. The puck's still loose, but a quick whistle. As the fans here not liking that quick whistle, but Ben Hrebeck making another big stop.
Aitchison crashing into the net there, and Reisnecker came in and quick whistle benefits Barrie. But how about that? You know, you start this with a 5-minute major and you not only kill all that, but you get a goal. And what a huge boost this could be to the Colts. We'll see if that spurs them on here to start the second period.
Yeah, they dodged a bullet to start the second frame as it's back to 5-on-5 hockey. Face off to the right of Hrebeck, won by the Ice Dogs. Puck sent around the boards. Puck comes to the near side. Trying to get to it there was Spape. Doherty couldn't get a stick on it. Asadorian will get it out for the Colts and down the ice. Schnowski back to play it, but that's going to be an icing call now against the Barrie Colts. And as you mentioned, this has the potential to be a confidence booster here for the Colts to try and get that momentum going.
Okay, I mean, this Ice Dogs, I mean, you look at the talent offensively, and it was the Barrie Colts with the better scoring chances. The 2 breakaways, the 3 odd man rushes, and Colts doing a good job of kind of forcing turnovers at that blue line, and it led to opportunities going the other way.
So face off to the right of Ben Harebic. Cole Baudouin taking the draw here against Riley Patterson. Face off won by the Ice Dogs. Schnowski with a shot deflected just wide. That one changed direction as went off somebody in front of the net. Vader with possession for the Colts. He's going to skate this one ahead. Reaches center, goes to Baudouin. Cole Baudouin enters the attacking zone. He'll hit the brakes. Back to the point. Armstrong. His shot blocked. Puck goes in the air. Bouncing behind the Niagara net. Colts will pick it up. Asadorian. Back to the point. Across to Vader. His shot blocked by Robrick. Cole Baudouin. Side of the goal. Crombie trying to jam it in. Yarmolenko has got the paddle down. Baudouin behind the net. He'll send this one back to the point. Armstrong with a shot deflected over the net. Asadorian side of the goal. Backhand. And that one somehow stayed out. May have gone off Schanowski. Doherty can't get to it. Colts again with it. At the point, Armstrong gives it up to Baudouin. Baudouin with the shot. That's blocked by Patterson. And the Ice Dogs will now clear it. Riley Patterson into the offensive end for the Ice Dogs. Robrick on the near side. Takes the shot. That's going to go over the net. Far side, Edgar. He'll send that one around. Patterson again in the corner for Niagara. Passes that one across. Ends up at the blue line. There's a shot blocked by Baudouin. Edgar collecting it again for Niagara. He's tied up by Armstrong. Loose puck in front. Patterson trying to get to it. Spins, fires, and Riley Patterson against his former team. And the Ice Dogs are back up by 2.
Cole Baudouin, you could see the frustration in his face. He threw that puck right out in front. Just didn't get enough on it. Not allow the Ice Dogs to pick that up. And Riley Patterson, the former Barrie Colt. Clutch Bowden's going to pick this one up and just slide it. And Riley Patterson, you can see the excitement on the former Colts face. And Colts looked like they were starting to come on there, but a big goal by Patterson. Let's see if that switches the momentum.
So Riley Patterson is second as a Niagara Ice Dog and restores the 2-goal advantage for Niagara. Zada inside the blue line takes the shot. That's going to go wide. Aitchison sending it around. Kevin He bumped off the puck by McCormick. That's going to end up back behind the Colts net. Aitchison, that pass is blocked. McCormick collecting it now for the Colts. Nearly got it taken away by Zada, who's on the forecheck. Deshaun Aitchison on the far side in his own zone. Passing it up the wing. Deflected by Stewart. That's going to roll on net. Yarmolenko will play it. Ice Dogs send this one forward. Picking it up. That's Edgar. Ryerson Edgar sends that one across. Kevin He, Zada wants the one-timer and Bravick the save. And then Edgar skated into Passmore. And those two will carry on as that's sent down the ice. Edgar got a piece of it, so no icing. Ice Dogs have it deep in their own zone as they try and regroup. That's Grayson Tiller back behind his own net. Tiller will move this one ahead. Reaches his own blue line through center. Tiller now dumps it in. Knocked down by Passmore. Off the end boards. Evan Passmore deep in his own zone. Ahead for Desiderio. Desiderio across. Schneid knocking it down. Has it in the Niagara zone. Takes the shot. Yarmolenko, the blocker save. Rebound bouncing all the way back to center ice. Aitchison ahead. Newton got a stick on it. Schneid trying to follow it up. Ice Dogs get it to the line. Not out. Desiderio will collect it. Trying to get it along the boards. He's got Barnes there. Ice Dogs trying to take it away. Puck rolls towards the net. Picked up here. As Spaeth will get to the line. Not out. Newton trying to come back for it. Keeps that one in play. Back behind the Ice Dogs net it goes. Schneid again for the Colts. Back to Aitchison. Aitchison will put this one back behind the Niagara net. There's Desiderio. Desiderio from the corner. Gives that up to Newton, and that rolls to the net. Puck's still loose. Yarmolenko decided to just let it sit there. Barnes Surrounded there by Desiderio and Newton. Puck comes back to the blue line. Armstrong to Aitchison. Back to Armstrong. Armstrong waits, takes the shot. That's blocked. Ice Dogs will get to it, and that will get out. Armstrong couldn't keep that one in as the puck was in the air. Colts are going to make a quick line change here as they have possession once more. Salandro, the shots, and Yarmolenko able to make the save as we're approaching the midway point of this hockey game. And it's the Barrie Colts enjoying the Ice Dogs enjoying a 3-1 lead.
Good pushback by the Colts there. They're able to get the sustained pressure in the Niagara zone. And that's got to be the frustrating point for Barrie, Mike. Before that as well, Cole Bodwin's line had some good pressure. They were deep into the Niagara zone, led to a couple of decent chances, and then all of a sudden you give up that one the other way. But that's what you got to do. You come back in the next shift, and I thought the Colts able to kind of, with a good forecheck, and it's working. When the forecheck, they're able to kind of turn pucks over, keep that pressure on, and it's just a work-like ethic, and it's what's going to have to if they're going to get back in this hockey game.
And it's not just one player that's trying to form the rush, and we saw it. William Schneid, he had that shorthanded goal, but he had another couple of decent opportunities there on that last shift.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, that line's been a bit good here for Barrie. Newton, Desiderio, and Schneid, and that's what you need. You need to kind of push back right away, and the Colts were able to do that. You hope maybe to get one. Kept that lead again to one goal, but Dylan Smoskowitz said, they got to outcompete Niagara, and they did that certainly on that last shift.
So again, a face-off here to the right of Yarmolenko. Gardner taking the draw here for the Colts, trying to get it back to the point. He's tied up. Ice Dogs with possession. Puck's taken away by Carter Lowe. He's going to send it to the corner. Dalche there for the Ice Dogs. Niagara able to get this one out to center ice. Skating this one ahead is Hayden Reed. Reed has that poked off his stick by Aitchison, but he's able to recover. Reed sending it back to the point. That shot wide of the net. Aitchison ahead, picked up by Lowe, lost it in his skates. Ice Dogs with it. Gallianov back to Reed. Gallianov didn't get all of it. Puck's loose behind Rebick. Knocked away by Aitchison. Shanowski along the boards. He's going to take it down low for Niagara. Smith's just trying to pick up his stick as it comes back to the point. There's the shot. Rebick a save. Rebound. Puck's loose. Colts will pick it up and move it out. Skating this one ahead is Salandra. Salandra on the wing takes the shot. That's going to go over the net. Puck comes back to the blue line, picked up by the Ice Dogs. Here's Hayden Reed again for Niagara. Great job, Vader, coming back to disrupt the chance. Reed gets it again for Niagara. He's going to come around the perimeter. Vader takes it away as it was intended for Patterson. Doherty sends it towards the net. Rebick's going to leave it there for Aitchison. Macedorian gets it out. Doherty again for Niagara. Ahead, Robrick has possession of it inside the blue line, leaves it for Patterson. That pass deflected. Here's Cole Bodwin with a breakaway coming off the bench. Bodwin, backhand, stopped by Yarmolenko. What a save by the Ice Dogs goaltender. Now the puck back. Bodwin gets it again. Cole Bodwin entering the zone, hits the brakes. He's got Vader. Bodwin decides to shoot it. That goes over the net. Vader gets it in the corner. He's going to drop it back behind the Ice Dogs net. Crombie, first one on it for Barrie. He'll send that one around. Vader after the loose puck. That's going to go back and down the ice as Doherty just cleared the zone, and that's going to be an icing call against Niagara. But what a chance there for Cole Bodwin.
Well, this game really starting to open up, and both teams with some good chances at the end, but what an opportunity for Bodwin on the breakaway, and he made a nice move, but credit to the Niagara goaltender, Yarmolenko, who just kind of followed him all the way through that and kept that puck out. But what an opportunity for Cole Bodwin coming off the bench.
And now we've seen that a few times in this period. The breakaways for Schneid and now Bodwin. The Colts are finding a way to get behind the Niagara defense.
They're getting their chances. They're getting their opportunities, and you just need to capitalize on them.
So 8:52 remaining in the second period. 3-1's the score in favor of the Ice Dogs. Riley Patterson with the latest goal from Niagara. And right now the officials having a conversation with Chris Barch, the head coach of the Niagara IceDogs. I know Cole Bodwin felt maybe there should have been a penalty shot when he was on that breakaway, but there's something that Barch saw that he wanted an explanation, and now Smoskowitz gets a very brief explanation from the official. So we'll get a face-off now to the right of Yarmolenko, won by the Colts. Crombie sends it towards the net. Beaudoin fires, and that one's blocked. Picked up by Doherty. Doherty. He'll skate this one to the line, gets it out, but the Colts take it away. Crombie avoids the collision with Frolov as the IceDogs will get this one into the Barrie zone. Acidorian gives that one up to Armstrong. Beaudoin stopped there by Patterson. Robrick, he picks this one up, takes it into his own zone. Trying that long pass. Patterson got a stick on it, so no icing. Hrebeck leaving it there for Emerton as the Colts try and regroup. Beaudoin at center. He's going to dump it in. Takes a hit from He. Frolov back behind his own net. Tiller picks up the loose puck for Niagara. He's going to send this one out. Knocked down by Aitchison. Edgar carrying it in for Niagara. Edgar across, and Zada got a stick on it, but puts it wide. Zada already sitting on 2 goals this afternoon. Zada trying to put that one in front, but that was blocked. Passmore on top of Zada. He will send that one back around the Colts net. Ends up at the blue line. Reisnecker sending it back behind the Colts net. There's Zada. His pass blocked by Aitchison. Zada leaving it there for Edgar. Crombie takes it away. He's going to send that one around. Barnes on the far side keeps it down low for the IceDogs. In front, Zada. Quick pass to He. He on the backhand. Back to the blue line. Reisnecker takes the shot. That goes wide. Edgar playing it along the boards here for the IceDogs. Puck goes down low. Crombie there for the Colts. Stewart chips it, but can't get it out. Barnes with a shot, and Hrebeck able to get a glove on it there. As Zada, he's been all over the ice in the offensive end here for Niagara.
Just love watching him play. I mean, he never stops. He's got a motor on him, and he's just so kind of sneaky. Finds his way in behind defensemen and Passmore trying to keep tabs on him. It's not an easy thing.
Well, it kind of reminds me of last night with Owen Griffin of the Oshawa Generals, how he was buzzing around the net, frustrating the Colts defenders, and now it's Zada's turn here this afternoon.
Griffin last night was public enemy number 1, it seemed like. Those were chasing him all night.
Face off to the right of Hrebeck, won by the Colts. Vader, he's going to skate this one ahead. Vader gets it out, but Galyanov knocked it down. IceDogs trying to turn around quickly, but that's short-lived. Puck's at center ice. Reisnecker ahead, hitting the brakes as Reed takes the shot. That's going to go wide. Smith on the far side takes a bump from Eamon Edgar. Edgar tying up his man. IceDogs trying to get that one to the net. Smith still with it here for the IceDogs. Goes back to the point. Barnes to Reisnecker. Reisnecker back to Barnes at the line. Reisnecker to the net. That's blocked by Galyanov, and the Colts will get this one out. Teague Vader reaches center. He's going to send this one deep. That goes off the end boards. Barnes will pick it up for Niagara. Takes a bump there from Edgar. Loose puck, McCormick chasing after it for the Colts. At the line, Aitchison. Emerton has that one bounce off his stick. Goes deep into the IceDog zone. Puck's bouncing. Emerton inside the line, stopping Reed from entering the zone. Tayshaun Aitchison back behind his own net. Just over 6 minutes remaining. Colts down by 2. Shots favoring the IceDogs 23-17. Gabriel Eliasson also ejected from the game for a major cross-check. That was at the end of the first period. As the puck goes deep, Schnowski collects it for the IceDogs. Patterson trying to dig it free here for Niagara. He's tied up by Schneid. There's the shot through the paint. That goes wide. Desiderio collect it now for the Colts. Nicholas Desiderio back to the point. Aitchison riding the line, being chased there by Doherty. Goes across, finds Schneid. William Schneid leaves it for Emerton. Emerton trying to get around Robrick. He's stopped, goes back to Schneid, takes the shot, blocked in front by Patterson. And Doherty will get this one out for the IceDogs. Patterson didn't see the pass coming. He was more focused on Aitchison. And the Colts, they're able to send this one deep. Yarmolenko ahead for Robrick. He's just going to send this one out to center. Colts regroup in their own zone. Evan Passmore. That's knocked down by Doherty. Doherty trying to hold on to it there. Picked up by Desiderio. Desiderio turning it around at center ice. Up to Newton. Jade Newton ahead. Gives that one to Schneid. Schneid trying to go back to Newton. Went behind him. Back around the Niagara net it goes. Kevin He finds the loose puck. He's going to go for a skate through center. A Colt defenseman fell over. Now it's a 2-on-1. A shot. Zada with the hat trick goal. And the Niagara IceDogs now have a 4-1 lead.
What an absolute rocket by Ethan Shada. No chance for Ben Revic, who came across that crease, but that one just under the crossbar. Some hats on the ice now, and again that odd man rush is he's just going to walk in and he's just going to tee up Shada.
Well, I think it was T. Vader who mixed up at the blue line and tripped up, which gave that 2-on-1 situation. And Kevin He made no mistake getting that pass across to Ethan Zada, who now has the hat trick. So the Barrie Colts now find themselves down by 3 with 4:42 remaining in the hockey game. We're in the second period. Ice Dogs get this puck deep into the Barrie zone. Ends up back behind the Colts net. Picked up by Armstrong. Loose puck. Kevin He takes the shot. Trying that tough angle. That was stopped by Harebic. Armstrong skates this one up. Acidorian put the pass behind Baudouin. Now it's Kevin He entering the zone, but that's going to be offside against Niagara with 4:18 remaining.
Again, we talked about the offensive ability and talent on this Ice Dogs team, and Ethan Zada. It's been his show this afternoon. Do it in all sorts of different ways, but again, he's just one of those guys. He's all over the ice there, and Kevin He sets him up, and I'll tell you, I think he got the 3-wood out from that one and just able to drive it under that bar.
Well, coming into this season, everyone, when they were talking about the Niagara IceDogs, there was no doubt the offense is going to be explosive this year when you've got the likes of Ethan Zada, Kevin He, Ryan Robick, rivalry Patterson, the list goes on and on. But now seeing it firsthand here, it's just how many options they have. And when you make that one mistake, they exploit it.
Well, that's it. I mean, you make those mistakes, and Dylan Smosk was talking, a couple of games ago, you looked at the opportunity. They were giving up too many prime scoring chances, too many odd man rushes here. And, while they've had a few of their own, and it's kind of really opened up a bit here, but you can't give up a 2-on-1 to Kevin He and Chada. They're going to make you pay. And right now, it's been the difference in this game. Niagara able to finish their opportunities. It's not like Barrie haven't had their chance, but credit to the Ice Dogs here for building this 3-goal lead.
So Niagara trying to do the late line change, but the officials will send those guys back with the face-off coming outside the Barrie Colts blue line. Baudouin will take the draw up against Matthew Spaeth. Ice Dogs win the face-off. Frolov will send it back into the Colts zone. Harebic sending that one around. Puck up by Spaeth, picked up by Crombie. He's going to skate this one forward. His pass deflected. Baudouin had it for a moment. Ice Dogs will clear it. Ends up rolling slowly into the Barrie zone. So Kayshawn Aitchison will send this one across. Emerton up to Baudouin. Cole Baudouin through the neutral zone. He's going to pass this one up to Crombie, but that's going to be an offside call here. Is this line just not able to get that pass connecting?
Well, you got 3:50 left in this second period, and it started out pretty well. Not only killed that 5-minute man advantage, but you're able to get a shorthanded marker. But things really opened up after that here. 3:50 remaining, and what you want to do is put together a couple of good shifts and maybe get that lead to 4-2 with a late one here. But we want to build that momentum heading into the third period. Still time here.
Aitchison will send it deep for the Colts. Ends up behind the Niagara net. Robrick trying to send that one ahead, but is blocked by Emerton. Salandra will get to the loose puck first. He's tied up by Barnes. Gardner from the corner. Low to Aitchison. Wide open net. He hits the post. Kayshawn Aitchison strikes iron. Gardner collects the loose puck. Back to Aitchison. Aitchison to Gardner. Going up the middle. Takes the shot. Yarmolenko with the blocker save. Reisnecker behind the net. He's bumped there by Salandra. Barnes will collect it now. Lost an edge, but able to recover. Gets it down the ice, bouncing into the Barrie zone. Emerton sends this one forward. Gardner up to Lowe. Carter Lowe will skate this one into the Niagara end. Lowe drops it back. That's poked away by Reisnecker, and the Ice Dogs get to the line and out. Here comes Riley Patterson, already a goal this afternoon. He's stopped by Armstrong. IceDogs trying to move that one forward, and that one ends up going on the bench and out of play. As Colts nearly getting one there as Aitchison had a wide open cage.
Well, Aitchison had 2 goals last night, just kind of stepped in, and you can hear it up here right off the iron, and goalie's best friend coming through again.
Well, it says a lot when we can hear it up here because our broadcast booth, we're actually located deep in the Barrie zone, and that shot was the other end of the arena.
What an opportunity there for Aitchison.
So face off to the right of Ben Harebic. Scramble draw. Colts picking up. Vader. They'll send it up to Acidorian skating through the neutral zone. That's going to be sent wide. Crombie's there for the Colts. Down behind the net. Tiller trying to put it in front, but Yarmolenko bats that one to the corner. Crombie along the boards. Bodwen's there as well, trying to move that puck. Crombie gets it back to Bodwen. Acidorian, his shot wide of the net. Vader at the point. Down low, finds Crombie. Crombie back to Vader. He'll set things up for Armstrong. Takes their shot, deflected, went off Bodwen. And the Niagara IceDogs will pick it up. They'll skate this one ahead. Stopped there by Armstrong, though. Good work there by the young defenseman. Vader up the wing. Acidorian chipped that one forward. Icing waved off as Crombie will beat that race. Tiller will tie him up. IceDogs get it out. Tayshaun Aitchison back for the Barrie Colts. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the second period. Barrie down 4-1. Aitchison will send that one along the wing. Acidorian got a piece of it, so no icing. Far side, Shanowski sends that one in the air. McCormick. He was able to bat that one down, but the IceDogs get it out. That's center Passmore. He's going to dump this one in. Shanowski picks this one up in the corner. He's going to drop this one back. Tiller just puts this one up the middle. Passmore trying to get a stick on it. Loose puck. Here's Hayden Reed. He's shot wide of the net. Back the other way it goes. It's Jonah McCormick. McCormick along the wing. Takes the shot. Misses the net and then crashing into the end boards. He was tripped up by Shanowski. McCormick on his skates, but having words with the defenseman as the play is in the neutral zone. IceDogs will get it deep. Emerton up to Aitchison. Up the wing. Bodie Stewart with possession. He's going to send this one into the zone as we're under a minute remaining in the second period. Bodie Stewart trying to get to that loose puck. He was knocked over by Robrick, and now the puck's sent out to center ice. Doherty in the neutral zone. That's an offside play as Doherty doing one too many moves before reaching that blue line.
Colts certainly had their chances in this one in 22.4 seconds. And, again, that second period really opened up. And I'm not sure if Dylan Smoskowitz likes that so much. You mean, you let the good chances at both ends. You certainly had your own offensive opportunities, but come on here on this road, this Niagara team. You're going to give them chances, especially guys like Kevin Heel and Sada. They're going to make you pay.
And Niagara definitely taking advantage of their opportunities here this afternoon. 34 seconds left. Gardner will get this one out of his zone. Knocked down by Reisnecker, following up his low, but wasn't able to control that pass. Now it's the other way. Riley Patterson on the wing to the net. Shot stopped by Harebic. Rebounded. What a save by Harebic. Sprawls across to rob Matthew Spaeth. And it remains a 3-goal game.
What an effort by Ben Harebic. I mean, it looked like he was down and out and just launching himself to get that blocker. One looked like it was headed for the top corner. One of the things Niagara's done really well here today, is just the ability to block shots too. I mean, they're making it tough for Barrie to get pucks through to the net.
Well, Niagara doing a great job with that, just moving the puck and getting it towards the net. But Ben Harebic, outstanding again here this afternoon, keeping his team in this hockey game. 10 seconds remaining. The puck's in the neutral zone. Carter Lowe, backhand pass to Passmore. Looks at the clock. Now he'll send it up to Salandra. Salandra couldn't control it. And that's going to go back behind the net. Grayson Tiller with it. And now Salandra having some words with Reisnecker. Where have we seen this before? As everyone's going to have some words, and we'll go off here. But still a tough second period for the Barrie Colts, as it was 2-0 coming into the second period, but Grayson or Gabriel Eliason gave the Niagara IceDogs a 5-minute power play at the end of the first period. It looked like a great opportunity for Niagara to really take advantage of the hockey game there, but it was Barrie in the opposite direction, and then Schneid getting that shorthanded goal. It gave the Colts life, but mistakes proved to be costly again as Zada completes the hat trick here this afternoon.
Yeah, again, I mean, you get that opportunity. I mean, you got that 5-minute major. Think, okay, we just got to find a way to get through this and kill this off. And they're able to get a goal and cut the lead. And that kind of momentum, you saw that early. They got some chances after that as well. Snide with another breakaway opportunity. Cole Bowden with a breakaway opportunity. But again, you open it up a bit. What that means, Niagara's getting their opportunities. Right now, the difference is they're burying those. And Chada with a hot stick tonight. 3 goals already in this one through 40 minutes.
So after 2 periods of play, it's a 4-1 hockey game in favor of the Niagara IceDogs. And we're going to take a quick break. And when we return, we'll go back to the chat. So if you have any other questions or anything you want to share about the Barrie Colts or the rest of the OHL, you can put that in the chat, and we will touch on that after the OHL news.
Hello everyone, I'm Terry Doyle. Thanks for joining us on this week's edition of OHL News. Coming up on the show, we'll talk to a goaltender who recently returned from the Detroit Red Wings training camp. That's coming up in a moment, but first, this week's Kojiko OHL Player of the Week is Ethan Zada of the Niagara IceDogs. Zada, a second-round pick of the Tampa Bay Lightning last summer, helped the IceDogs to 2 road wins over the weekend, including a 5-4 shootout victory Friday night against the Saginaw Spirit, and then they blanked the Flint Firebirds by a score of 4-0 in 2 road wins last weekend. Zada, originally a first-round pick, 5th overall by the IceDogs in the 2023 OHL Priority Selection. From a forward to a goaltender, Landon Miller of the Sioux Greyhounds recently returned from the Detroit Red Wings training camp, a draft pick of the Wings, now in his second camp with Detroit, and then coming back to the Greyhounds to lead them as a veteran this season.
Landon, let's start with a return to the OHL, a return to the Greyhounds after time at Red Wings camp. How was this year's experience with the Wings?
Yeah, it's awesome. Anytime you get to share a space with that caliber of guys, obviously in the National Hockey League, it's pretty cool to kind of be a sponge for a little bit and try to soak up everything that they offer, and it's pretty cool.
Second time through at camp, did you find it was a different experience than the first time?
Yeah, I think the first time you're kind of wide-eyed and pretty, I guess, shocked, or it's a different experience. I think the second time around, a lot more comfortable. I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm definitely a lot more, used to the schedule and how it works, and I think it makes for an easier transition, I guess.
How does it work? Fill me in. Obviously, goaltenders, you've got obviously a bunch of goaltenders they bring into camp initially, obviously through rookie camp, and then into that. What's that experience like? What sort of routine do you guys have as goaltenders, even compared to the skaters?
Yeah, so as goaltenders, we'll jump on the ice early with the goalie coach there in the AHL with Grand Rapids is Rope, and so we'll jump on with him and work on our craft for a few minutes before practice starts. Then when everybody else will get out there, we'll participate in practice, and Rope will be there to kind of critique us, I guess. And then after practice too, we'll work with him a little bit and just take some shots with the guys.
You talk about being a sponge, and I'm sure over the years you've had various goalie coaches, obviously in the Sioux, with the Red Wings organization and other coaches. Is that a case too, where you just kind of soak it in and you take maybe a tip that you had from one guy and a tip you had from another and just bring it all together to form your game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think another big thing is asking questions, being curious. I think is always a good thing. Just to learn the do's and don'ts, and I think it's important to be curious and put yourself out there, because that's how you're going to get better, right?
Now, in what's now your 4th season as a member of the Sioux Greyhounds, what has that organization meant to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I think we're pretty special the way we're treated. It's pretty special the way we're treated up here, and I've loved my time here, and it's been a great time, and I'm excited to get going again.
When you were initially chosen by the Greyhounds, and was it something where you'd probably heard of the city, heard of the team, but you look back and I'm sure when everything was new, I know everything's familiar up there now for you, but I'm sure right off the bat it was probably like such a new thing moving from the GTA up to the Sioux.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a different way of life. Not as near as busy as it is in Toronto in that area, but I think it's pretty cool to be a part of the community here. It's been super welcoming to not only myself but to everybody else that has played up here, and I think the people are great here, and they treat us tremendously, and it goes a long way.
How big are the Sioux Greyhounds in Sault Ste. Marie in terms of the fact that it's such a diehard fan base and just people? I'm sure you go out for breakfast, you go out for dinner, and fans just know who you guys are.
Yeah, it's truly special. I mean, the fans treat us like gold up here, and we're forever thankful of that. I think their support is critical to any success we have, and it's awesome.
After you were drafted back in 22 in the second round, the Greyhounds had you play with the Thunderbirds for a good chunk of that season. You came up to the Hounds a little bit. Looking back on that, do you think that was something really good for your development? Maybe at the moment you weren't maybe sure, but now looking back on it in hindsight, okay, that ended up being a really good fit.
Yeah, I had an amazing time with the Sioux Thunderbirds here. At the beginning, obviously, I wanted to make the team and play in the OHL as a 16-year-old, but the Sioux was very smart with me and made the decision for me to play there my 16-year-old season, and it was very good for me. I think getting the ice time, getting the reps, it's still a pretty high level, and playing with older guys as well as practicing with the Greyhounds whenever I got the opportunity. I think that season was huge in my development.
And was it a case where obviously without that, then maybe you would have been, let's for argument's sakes, you were kind of the third goalie at the Greyhounds at the time anyway, but if you weren't getting to play much, where you got the best, where you got to be part of the OHL team, but still get a lot of shots and a lot of reps in with the Thunderbirds?
Yeah, exactly. I think it was cool to get my feet wet with them and kind of understand what it takes to be in the league and what the league is about. But at the same time, I got the reps in the games and stuff in the NOJHL with the Thunderbirds.
You're a veteran now, and you've been through a lot of travels with this Sioux Greyhounds club. It feels like year in and year out, the West Division, the Western Conference, there's always quite the battles. Do you feel like it doesn't matter when it is in the season? You guys are in for some tough battles in your rink or obviously on the road.
Yeah, most definitely. I think with being a team that travels a lot, these road trips, the 3 games in 4 nights and things like that, it's a grind, and I think it's especially with the tough competition, but I think it's something that we embrace, and I think it's something that our team's only going to get closer and build together on, and it's exciting stuff.
We're new into the season. How was your summer?
Yeah, I had a great summer. I actually spent 10 weeks of my summer in Detroit training with them at the Little Caesars Arena there. So I think that was big for my development. And then, when I wasn't doing that, I was hanging out with family and friends and, trying to soak up the sun at the beach and whatnot.
I know it's hanging out in Detroit area. You don't have to go very far for some water. You don't have to go very far for baseball, golf. Did you try to mix that in a little bit of everything?
Yeah, most definitely. I played a lot of golf this summer, trying to work on my game, and obviously spending time in the water and canoeing or paddleboarding and all that fun stuff.
That was Landon Miller of the Sioux Greyhounds. Here's a look at this week's CHL Top 10 rankings. From the Quebec League, the Blainville Boisbriand Armada lead the way across the nation. Top OHL representation, the Windsor Spitfires at number 2, followed very closely by the Brantford Bulldogs at number 3, the Kitchener Rangers at 6, and rounding out the list, the Owen Sound Attack at number 10. That's going to do it for our show this week. You've been listening to OHL News. I'm Terry Doyle. Thanks for joining us.
So it is the second intermission here at the Meridian Center between the Barrie Colts and the Niagara IceDogs. IceDogs right now up 4-1 on the Barrie Colts. And for Barrie, right now playing without Gabriel Eliasson, who took that 5-minute major penalty. His night is done. And now Dylan Smoskowitz and the coaching staff cycling through on their defensemen, although we're seeing Deke Vader and Ethan Armstrong both getting some decent ice time now that they have to fill in for relief.
Yeah, you need guys to step up, and obviously, that second period. I mean, things opened up, and when you look at it, I mean, obviously, Eliason, and you don't want to take away that physical presence that he brings, but knowing the line, you're down 2-0, and you take a 5-minute major. Obviously, that's going to hurt your hockey club, and fortunately for them, they were able to get the shorthanded marker in the 5-minute major, but for this game right now, I mean, for Barrie, obviously you're down 4-1. Yeah, see if you can get one here early and kind of building that momentum and give yourselves an opportunity to get back in this one. But again, that second period, a bit of a wild one. I thought things really opened up there. Both teams had some outstanding chances, and again, right now Niagara's burying those
Well,
chances.
it's crazy to think how different this game would have been if it wasn't for Yarmolenko in net, as they had three odd man rushes shorthanded in that 5-minute penalty kill. Because if the Colts would have scored on two or more of those chances, we'd be looking at a totally different hockey game here.
Yeah, you think the momentum too that would have given Barrie, after that, and I think they were able to build on that, but. Again, it was just one of those strange things. I think sometimes when you're in an attacking team, you get 5 minutes like the Ice Dogs there. There's that tendency to be just a bit lackadaisical. Okay, I got some time here, and
Yep.
especially at the blue line, they're a little bit sloppy, and Barrie was able to pounce on that, give themselves opportunity, including on the lone goal. But credit to Niagara. I mean, they come back down. Riley Patterson, a big goal against his ex teammates, and Chada obviously has been outstanding here tonight, but. You give those guys opportunities, they're burying them. And that's why, a lot of people talk about this Niagara team, being the favorites here in the Central Division.
Yeah, it's that quick strike offense. And then when you get the goaltending from Yarmolenko, even Robertson has had some good starts for Niagara these last few games. And really, this Ice Dogs team looks like it's going to be a threat in the Central Division if the Barrie Colts are going to want to challenge for it.
Yeah, that was the one big question, right? Like, I mean, that and then the blue line for Niagara coming into this season. And, the goaltending, as we see here today, it looks pretty you got a veteran like Robertson, and then Yermolenko, who's just been, big stop after big stop. And that's what you want from your goaltender. I mean, sometimes, you are going to break down on that back end. And right now, whatever mistakes are being made back there, he's picked it up here and helped them out.
So we're just under 7 minutes away from the start of the third period. So this is the benefit of doing these games on YouTube. We do have the fan chat engagement, and we do have some comments to get to. And Paul is saying, who do you think are good candidates to make the World Juniors this season from the OHL? And is London still winless? Well, no, the Knights have won back-to-back games in overtime, though. So the Knights still kind of trying to figure things out. But on the World Juniors front, you have to figure the likes of Cole Baudouin, Keyshawn Aitchison have to be strong candidates for potentially making that World Juniors team.
Yeah, I think certainly those two are going to get, obviously, I think invites, and Bowden, you figure with being on the team twice, we'll have a third crack at it as well. And Keyshawn Aitchison maybe stepping up this year, but you look at the talent, in the OHL, there's always plenty of it. You take a team like Oshawa, obviously they're still up in the NHL, but you figure Ben Danford will be another guy that will get a look if he's returned back to junior hockey. And even Beckett Seneca, what's going to happen with him? There's a guy that can come back and play for the World Junior team, but there's no shortage of talent, and it's going to be interesting to see, because I think there's always a couple of guys that surprise, right? That have strong starts that maybe you don't have necessarily on the radar, and all of a sudden they put themselves on the radar. And come that early December camp, that's when the tough decisions really start to have to be made.
And Dale Hunter of the London Knights, he's the head coach of Team Canada at the World Juniors. So maybe we see a little bit of an OHL flair at the World Juniors. Maybe that's where some of these more depth players will come from, is from the Ontario Hockey League, based on what Mark Hunter and Dale Hunter are seeing in the OHL.
Yeah, I think familiarity, obviously, you get to know as a coach that, you see the guys firsthand. And, look, I mean, all three leagues, there's a ton of talent: Western Hockey League, Quebec League, and the Ontario Hockey League. But obviously, when you get the different coaches from the different leagues, and, there's more players they're going to know. And that's where you rely, obviously, on the Hockey Canada management and stuff to make a lot of those, tough decisions in terms of who you bring in. But, look, there's some hockey, and there's no doubt these guys, when you get a Keyshawn Aitchison, and you get a Cole Baudouin, and you get all these other guys, they want to be part of that team, right? I mean, they all grew up watching it as kids. The World Junior Tournament over the holidays, it's a special time of year, and I'm sure that they're going to do everything they can to get that opportunity.
And we just saw on the out-of-town scoreboard that the Windsor Spitfires, who are off to a 7-0 start. They're in Owen Sound this afternoon, playing up in the Bayshore. They're trailing right now by a score of 4-1. The attack have been such a surprise. I know they lost the other night against the Kitchener Rangers, but my oh my, Owen Sound giving it to Windsor, which is a bit of a surprise.
I mean, look, we saw that Owen Sound team in Barrie, and they look great. I mean, they ended up winning in a shootout, but they were just they just keep coming at you in
Yeah.
waves, and it's a team that's looking to turn up and make some noise. And what a message they'd be sending if they beat handed Windsor their first defeat of the year. Look, it's going to happen, right? We know someone is going to beat Windsor. I mean, it's a deep club, but kudos to Owen Sound, making some waves here early.
Yeah, what a story it's been out of the Bayshore with what the attack have been able to do. And it's obviously Windsor's going to lose some games during the course of the regular season, but it's always interesting to see who hands them that first defeat. And the Owen Sound attack, what a surprise they've been this year.
Yeah, it's just, look, I mean, we all know, okay, who's going to be the top teams. So it's pretty obvious Brantford was loading up in the East, and they seem like to be the big team in the East. And then, of course, you got, you go out West and, the Kitchener Rangers, that's a pretty good hockey club as well. And, everybody knew Windsor was going to take a big run. And there's always the London Knights when you think they're supposed to kind of do a little bit of a rebuild. It doesn't work out that way. Next thing you know, they're right up there. But it's nice to see teams like the Sioux Greyhounds, the Owen Sound attack. The Owen Sound have been, better at the start here than the Greyhounds, but that's another team. If they get Brady Martin back, that'd be a big boost to the Greyhounds. But that Western Conference is going to be interesting because Kitchener, that's a really good hockey club there,
Yep.
and it's going to be obviously interesting to see what exactly they do at the trade deadline because you got the opportunity to host a Memorial Cup there, and even Guelph. I mean, they didn't look so good in Barrie, but they've been inconsistent. But they look decent at times too.
Yeah, the Guelph Storm have been described as the Jekyll and Hyde right now of the Ontario Hockey League. One game they're giving up 7 goals, and the next they're putting up 7 goals. So you just never know with the Guelph Storm. But we have Teresa mentioning she's saying that this is an Ice Dogs revenge for knocking them out of the playoffs, and she also adds that we need Hemming back. And with Emil Hemming, we're still waiting to find out, does he make it with the Texas Stars? It sounds like he's going to have to force his way on the lineup if he's going to make it there, or better yet for Colts fans, he comes back to junior.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, the opportunity to play some pro hockey for Emil, but from what we understand there, he's got to knock someone off of the spot there. There's really not a spot for him there. So, the opportunity for him there, that's what he's trying to do. And, Emil had a slow start in Barrie last year. And again, it was just kind of finding his way, a better second half, a better playoff here. And, maybe the opportunity that if he does have to come back to junior, be that dominant player that the Dallas Stars expect you to be, and then be able to kind of springboard that into next season, an earning spot. Never mind with the Texas Stars, but with the Dallas Stars.
So we want to thank those who've been taking part in the chat. Right now, the players are back on the ice, getting ready for the start of the third period. As the Colts, they've got some work to do here. They're down by 3. Obviously, this is an Ice Dogs team that's taken advantage of their opportunities, and Ethan Zada, a hat trick, and then Riley Patterson, the other goal scorer for the Ice Dogs. And for the Barrie Colts, seeing William Schneid get that shorthanded marker just goes to show the depth is there for this Barrie Colts team as they try and regroup and get ready for this third period. But Dylan Smoskowitz and his team, they got a lot of work to do here.
Yeah, I mean, early, like you said, I mean, it's. I think first and foremost, what you want to do is at least the first couple of shifts, try to build some momentum coming into this third period. And if you can get one early, again, that'll kind of get the tides going. That'll get that bench going, and again, that's all going to be through hard work and an opportunity. It's not like Barrie hasn't had their opportunities in this one, and just need to take advantage of one here early and give yourselves a chance.
So we're ready to go for the third period of play here at the Meridian Center between the Colts and the Ice Dogs. Cole Baudouin ready to take the face-off against Ethan Zada. And we are underway. Face-off won by the Ice Dogs as Grayson Tiller has it inside his own blue line. Sends that up to Kevin He. He'll just chip that one in the zone, but he touched it before the red line. So that's going to be an early icing call against the Ice Dogs.
I mean, you look at teams, and often your coaches and even players, talk about early in the year. You want to do some of those road trips because there's a lot of new faces, whether it's through transactions, trades, or just young guys, rookies coming in the lineup. But it gives you kind of that bonding. But again, the Colts with that home heavy schedule here to start the year.
Yeah, the next home game won't be until they're back at the Bayshore against the Owen Sound Attack after Thanksgiving. So it's going to be another home heavy week for the Colts with home dates against Ottawa Thursday and then Brampton on Saturday. As the Barrie Colts get this one deep, Frolov there to collect it for Niagara. HSN at the point takes the shot. That's deflected wide of the net by Baudouin. Puck sent to center ice. Ryerson Edgar for the Ice Dogs takes the shot. Herevic got a toe on it. Crombie picks up the loose puck. In the corner, Cole Baudouin will collect it. Ahead for Asadorian, trying to catch up to it. It got out of his reach. That's sent back out to the neutral zone. Crombie can't handle it. Ethan Armstrong there to follow it up. He's bumped off the puck. Crombie gets it again at the Ice Dogs blue line. He'll send that in the zone. Grayson Tiller backtracking. Ends up back behind his own net. As the Ice Dogs will regroup, both teams making changes. And now we've got a delayed penalty call coming against the Barrie Colts as an Ice Dog player just tripped up as he was skating by the Colt player. I believe it was Brad Gardner. And now the puck will go back onto the Barrie net. We'll get the call here as it's going to be a trip. So the Ice Dogs getting another power play opportunity here with Brad Gardner going to the box.
Well, just one you don't want to see it take again. I mean, you need to get that ball rolling, but Gardner in front of the net. Kind of try to plead to the official there, but right in front of the official here. And what an opportunity for the Ice Dogs here early in this third period. Put the Colts in a deeper hole.
So last time the Ice Dogs were on the power play, they had 5 minutes to work with, but were unable to capitalize. As the Colts right away get this one down the length of the ice. Yermolenko out of his net to play it. He'll leave it there for Barnes. Barnes. He'll send this one back. Picked up by Edgar. Robrick receives the pass at center ice. Back to Edgar. Enters the zone. Backhand pass to Smith. Smith with a shot. That's blocked by Passmore. Robrick back to the line. Barnes, though, can't keep it in. He'll send that one across. Edgar back to Barnes. Ice Dogs having some issues setting up. Power play now down to a minute 23. Robrick enters the zone for Niagara. He'll hit the brakes. Back to Barnes at the point. Rides the line. Sets it over to Edgar. Edgar with a shot. That's blocked by Aitchison. Loose puck picked up again by Edgar. Edgar to Robrick. Robrick with a shot. Scores! Ryan Robrick on the power play. Picks off the corner. And it's now 5-1.
Oh, what a shot by Robrick. Top corner, a bit of traffic in front of Ben Herevic, but that one picked the top left corner. Love handling it. Again, Ice Dogs power play comes through here, and not going to help the Colts. They wanted to get back in this one, and Robrick's going to make them pay. And I don't know if Ben Herevic just didn't see that through. There was some traffic in front, but Robrick picks the top corner.
And Robrick's someone we haven't really talked about much during this broadcast with what he brings to the team. And that shot, a great example, picking off a corner, his third of the season. And that'll be a power play marker as the Colts now down by 4. Shanowski will take it back behind his own net. He's going to take his time. Moves it forward. He's got McCormick there on the forecheck. Decides to come to the near side. That pass goes off Eamon Edgar. McCormick trying to carry it in. Stopped by Shanowski, but he's able to force that to the far corner. Delje back to McCormick. McCormick couldn't get that one to go too far. Puck sent out to center ice. Picked up by the Colts. Armstrong sending it right back into the Niagara end. Delje back behind the net. Tied up by Eamon Edgar. McCormick gives that one up to Baudouin. Pulls Baudouin off the boards. Comes back to the point. Still with it. Shot stopped by Yermolenko. Gets the rebound. Put it off the mask of Yermolenko. Rebound scores. Jonah McCormick. Johnny on the spot. As he'll put that one by. And the Colts, they're now up behind 5-2.
Rick, I think that's his first OHL goal for McCormick. And Cole Bodwin picked that up with a head of speed there, coming across the top of the slot area, and a couple of shots at it. McCormick just parked out in front, buries the rebound, and Colts bounce right back here to get that back to within 3.
I'm pretty sure that Bodwin shot went off the mask of Yermolenko, and McCormick, right place, right time. Gets his first career OHL goal, and it's now 5-2. Riley Patterson's going to skate this one ahead for Niagara. Patterson, he's tied up there by Passmore. Puck goes back behind the net. IceDogs will pick it up. That one goes off the official. Aitchison, tipped there by Patterson, but Colts get it to the line and out. Chasing after, here's Crombie. Crombie, stopped there by Frolov. Puck will roll to the corner. Frolov gets to the loose puck. Sends that one up the boards. Body's starting to fly everywhere. There's a shot. Asadorian! Yermolenko can't find it. It's somewhere in his equipment as Bodwin was going to the net. Now Frolov tying up the Colts forward. As those two will continue to wrestle. Riley Patterson also in there. And I think we might be getting a penalty out of this. It might be going against the Niagara IceDogs.
Asadorian picked that one up in the slot, and his quick shot. Yeah, it's just good work down low by the Colts. Forces the turnover. The quick shot by Asadorian. Pushing and shoving in front of the net.
So it looks like it's going to be a Barrie Colts power play brought to you by Frontline Hockey Apparel. As Frolov's being sent off for roughing. Tiller also in the penalty box here. So some additional penalties. The timekeeper's wanting to get things sorted out. But all signs indicate the Colts are going to get a power play here. So a chance to build on that momentum after the goal from Jonah McCormick.
Oh, give a chance here, and here's where you got to come through. Got 15:58, and you're down 5-2. A chance on the power play. Build some momentum.
So look at the face-off here to the right of Yermolenko. Cole Bodwin's going to take the draw up against Ethan Zada. Face-off won by the Colts. Back at the blue line. Aitchison on the near wing. Puck bounced on him. He'll send this one down low. Finds low. Aitchison. Gardner back to Emerson. Quick pass to Bodwin. Across to Aitchison. Aitchison shot off the mask of Yermolenko again. That's using your face. Here's Emerson at the point. Bodwin receives the pass, trying to go across, deflected. That bounces through the crease. Aitchison back to Gardner. Cole Emerson giving that one to Bodwin. Near side Aitchison. His shot deflected. Zada got a stick in the lane. Now the IceDogs trying to get it out. Kept in by Bodwin. Giving it up. Emerson takes the shot himself. Yermolenko the save. And that puck going into the netting and out of play with 1:19 remaining in this Colts power play.
The Colts doing a good job of keeping the Dogs pinned in their zone here. Moving the puck around, get some bodies to the front of the net. The confidence showing of young defenseman Cole Emerson out here on the power play with Keyshawn Aitchison on the back end.
Face-off won by the Colts. Aitchison, one-timer, stopped by Yermolenko, and the IceDogs will clear it out. What a blast from Aitchison. We saw a similar shot last night against the Oshawa Generals. As Aitchison rounding into fine form here early in the regular season. Cole Bodwin will carry it into the attacking zone. Back to Aitchison. His shot scores! Right on cue as Aitchison scores on the power play, and it's now 5-3.
Keyshawn Aitchison, he's got the hammer out there ready and had a couple of whacks on it the one-timer, and that time takes a little bit of, I don't know if he took something off it, but instead he fired that one into the top of the net there and just quick wrister. And the Colts with 2 quick goals here are within 2.
Oh, it's just that great release from Keyshawn Aitchison. Like I said, he had 2 goals last night. That's now 4 on the season. And you almost get the sense he's just getting started. Ice Dogs will get this one out as Barrie has some life. They're within 2. Here's Jaden Newton through the neutral zone. Passing that one forward. Ice Dogs get it out. Vader chasing after it in his own zone. He's got Ryerson Edgar on him. Evan Passmore up the wing. Finds William Schneid. Schneid has that get by him. Puck goes behind the Niagara net. Reisenecker can't get it out of the zone. Kept in by Emerton. Emerton around the Niagara net. Cole Emerton finds Newton. His shot wide of the net. Schneid behind the Niagara IceDogs goal. Trying to pass it in front. Reisenecker was in the way. Edgar gets to it for the Ice Dogs. Takes a weird bounce off the boards. Colts with it again. Backhand! Kicked aside by Yermolenko. Desiderio gets it in the corner for the Colts. Trying to carry it into the slot. Puck knocked away from him, and Kevin He will skate it up the center and dumps it in. Off the end boards. Evan Passmore will play it. Passmore taking it there behind his own net to regroup as the Ice Dogs are making a line change, as are the Barrie Colts. Just past the 6-minute mark of this third period. Niagara had a 5-1 lead coming here into this third period, and then goals from McCormick and Aitchison. Keishon Aitchison out there again, dropping it there for Beaudoin at center ice. Beaudoin carrying it in himself. Gets by Frolov, trying to go to the net. Tucks it in front, but Yarmolenko not giving Cole Beaudoin much space as he'll hold on to that one. As the Barrie Colts definitely stepped things up a bit here in this third period.
Those 2 quick goals really pick them up just 42. Excuse me, it's less than 2 minutes apart. But Barrie has given them a bit of a spark and talked about, you'd be able to put together a couple of good shifts. You get the power play opportunity and you take advantage. They had to, and it brought them to back, gave them a chance. They come right back with another quick goal by Aitchison, and all of a sudden you're back in a hockey game now, and see if they can continue to build on that momentum.
Well, right now, looking at the shot clock, Niagara just a slight lead, 29-27, as it's really been all Colts over the last few minutes. I know Robrick scored on the power play at the beginning of this third period, but still the momentum right now favoring the Barrie Colts.
Well, Niagara looking for their first shot of the period. Shots were 27-18 Niagara after 40 minutes. Colts really ramping things up here in this third period.
So we're going to bring this face-off into the Niagara zone to the left of Yarmolenko, as Cole Beaudoin will give final instructions here before taking the draw up against Ethan Zada. He's got Asadorian and Salandra on his wing, Armstrong and Aitchison at the point. Face-off won by the Ice Dogs. Tiller gets it in the corner. He's just going to send this one down ice. Aitchison collects it as Kevin He steals it. Shot stopped by Hrebeck. Loose puck. Kevin He can't handle it, and that was kicked aside. Puck comes to the corners, picked up by Ethan Armstrong. He's going to send it back to Aitchison as he tries to set things up. Aitchison now will move this one ahead. Finds Armstrong. Trying to carry that one in was Beaudoin, delayed offside now against the Colts, so Tiller's got some time. He'll send this one back to Frolov. Frolov skating this one up for Niagara, reaches the neutral zone, carrying it in himself, takes a shot, stopped by Hrebeck. Well, going end to end there, but Ben Hrebeck with a blocker save. Puck sent to the corner as Kevin He runs over Armstrong. He is a one-man wrecking crew right now as Edgar carries it in for the Colts. Edgar was tripped up, avoids the hit from Tiller. Roll off the line and kept in. No, that one's out by Emerton. Delayed offside again for the Colts. Tiller will come back behind his own net to play it. Barnes got his first career OHL point on the last goal for Niagara as McCormick steals it from Tiller, but couldn't get that shot to go. Ice Dogs get it out to center ice. Robrick, he stopped right at the center line. He'll just dump it in. McCormick throwing a hit there on Robrick in the neutral zone. Doherty back to Robrick, trying to go up the middle. He's got sticks swinging around him. Colts will pick it up. Crombie on the far side, gets to the line, takes the hit there from Doherty. Puck's in the neutral zone, picked up by Robrick. He's just going to send it in. McCormick continues to throw hits on Robrick as those two big bodies continue to meet. Colts trying to move this one out. Teague Vader reaches center ice. Still with it, takes the shot off Reisnecker's skate. Into the corner it goes. Vader falls, trying to pass it out in front. Gardner trying to dig that one free. It goes by Crombie. Puck's bouncing. Ice Dogs will get it out. Goes out of the reach of Patterson. He's going to go off for a change. In comes Aitchison, back to Gardner. Gardner across to Aitchison, scores! Carter Lowe decided to pass instead of shoot, and it was right on the tape of Aitchison. And just like that, the Barrie Colts, they're within one.
That puck was right on the edge of the pad. Arnoff and Aitchison just slides that one in, and back-to-back goals. The Colts co-captain here. They're going to just tap that one home. The doorstep there. And again, good things happen when we go to the net. Gardner, nice feed to Lowe. He's going to move it across to Aitchison and the tap in. And just like that, the Colts are within one.
Well, the Niagara IceDogs now calling a timeout to try and settle things down. Chris Barch, pretty animated right now on that Niagara IceDogs bench, as his team had a 5-1 lead, but now they've given up 3 unanswered as it's a 5-4 hockey game.
Incredible turnaround here for Barrie. You give up that 5th goal early on and you think, okay, maybe, it's lights out, but credit to the Colts here. They haven't given up. Give themselves an opportunity. I mean, it's still 11:01 remaining in this third period. They got it down to 1.
It's not over till it's over. And we'll see if what Barch had to say on the bench can rally the Ice Dogs, or will the Colts continue this momentum as Gardner chips this one deep into the Niagara zone. Schanowski's there. Schneid trying to dig it away. Side of the goal. That's taken away by Reed. Reed's going to put that one off the boards. Smith gets it out for the Ice Dogs. Reaches center. Carter Lowe's on top of him. He'll send it deep. Parevic leaving it behind the goal. Passmore up the wing. Finds Carter Lowe. That got by him. And that's going to be icing against the Barrie Colts.
Again, the old thing that you never give up. And I had to bring out the Yogi quote. Yogi Bear. Never over till it's over.
Well, it's a classic. You got to use the classics when the moment comes.
How about Keyshawn H? Another great start to the season here. And you talk about his dominance physically and the physical side of it, but offensively, he just really started all last season, set the Colts record for goals in a season. And Colts defenseman.
And that puck's going to go out of play. They're going to say it was deflected, so no penalty. Well, I don't think Keyshawn Aitchison's going to be done setting records with the Barrie Colts, especially with his play.
Get that type of offensive production from the back end. I mean, that's a big part. 4 goals over these last 2 games, 3 points last night, another big game here this afternoon.
Oh, then that's why Dylan Smoskowitz said he had to do the co-captains, because both Aitchison and Beaudoin, they both lead by example. And we're getting another example of that here this afternoon as the Colts right there in this hockey game, down by 1, just over 10 minutes remaining. Puck's turned over in the Niagara zone. Cole Beaudoin in the corner. One-timer Salandra rolled on him. Puck goes to the net, but Yarmolenko decides to play it, and that's going to go down the ice. Armstrong back to pick it up for the Colts. Aitchison up the wing. That's deflected, and that's going to go out of play. So we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone.
Well, the Ice Dogs really on their heels now. The Colts kind of using that momentum to push forward right now. They've had it plays been most in this Niagara zone, and right now for the Ice Dogs, they got to find a way. And it all starts when they get out with a good shift and see if they can start to kind of push back a bit here. Right now, they just appear a little bit stunned, and that's allowing the Colts to keep the pressure up.
Face-off won by the Colts at center ice. They're going to send it back into the Niagara zone. Eamon Edgar chasing after it. McCormick runs over his man, Reisnecker. Battle continues. Barnes has it in the corner now. Reisnecker on top of McCormick. The officials telling them to move it. Delayed offside right now for the Colts, so Passmore goes back into his own zone. Vader back to Passmore. 9.5 minutes remaining. Edgar across. McCormick receives the pass. He's inside the Colts blue line, but that's taken away by Spaeth, and he puts that one wide. There's a big hit there on Noft as the Ice Dogs trying to put it out in front, but McCormick picking it up now for the Colts. Teague Vader back to Passmore as they try and regroup. Ice Dogs in the process of making a line change, as are the Barrie Colts. So taking his time back behind his own net is Vader. He's going to wait for Cole Emerton. So Emerton's going to take over back behind his own net. Time becoming a factor now here at the Meridian Center. 8:45 to go. Emerton ahead for Lowe. Lowe finds Gardner. He'll enter the zone, but an extra move at the line put Schneid offside, and we'll get another faceoff.
Gardner making that move to get around the defenseman. 8:39 remaining. Shots now 31-29.
So we'll get the faceoff now outside the Niagara blue lines. And final instructions from the linesman. Faceoff won by the Colts. Armstrong at center is going to send this one around the boards. Ermolenko tried to slow it down. Lowe lets it go back to the blue line to Emerton. Emerton with a shot into the crowd, and that goes wide of the net. Schneid in the corner. Dalche trying to hold him up. Schneid has possession, puts it in front. Loose puck. Gardner couldn't get a stick on it as Robrick will take it away. Ryan Robrick ahead to Patterson. Back to Robrick. Puck's rolling on him. Still with it. Goes in front, and no one there for Niagara. Shanowski sends that one around the boards. Puck's in the corner, picked up by Armstrong. Armstrong takes the hit. That was Patterson delivering the check as Carter Lowe puts it off the glass and down the ice. Brad Gardner chasing after it, but Dalche will send it back. And now it's an icing call against the Ice Dogs. As it just seems though right now, Niagara a little out of step right now after giving up those 3 unanswered goals.
Just taking back. I mean, they're going to have to find a way to get out of that doldrum again. I mean, they had a couple of good chances. Like to sit back and off, and you want to protect that. After giving up 3 goals, you want to protect that 1-goal lead, but you sit back too much, that's just going to allow your opponents to keep coming at you, and that's what the Colts are doing right now.
Face off won by the Colts. Aitchison has it at the point. He's going to skate it down low. Aitchison going around the Niagara net, drops it back. Bodwin couldn't hold on to that. Patterson was in the way. Acidorian sends it around near side. Aitchison after it. He'll give that one up to Bodwin in the corner. Back to the point. Finds Passmore. Passmore trying to settle it down. Still has it at the blue line. Puts behind the Niagara net. Acidorian comes up with it. Alex Acidorian back to Evan Passmore. Passmore with a shot. That goes off the leg of Patterson. Puck's in front. Colts can't get to it. Patterson to the line, but not out. Kept in by Passmore. Crombie. His pass deflected by Del Elche. Puck comes back to the line. Passmore finds Aitchison. Aitchison with a shot. Yarmolenko got a blocker on it. Acidorian in the corner. Far side. Gives that up to Aitchison. Aitchison passing that one ahead. Bodwin will get to the loose puck. Trying to pass it in front. Patterson was in the way. Acidorian takes it away from the Niagara forward. Passmore at the point. Down low to Bodwin. Puck's bouncing. Couldn't get a stick on it. Bodwin, though, catches up to it. Comes back to the line, but Hayden Reed able to lift it and ends up in a neutral zone. Calvin Crombie picks up momentum, carrying it in here for the Colts. Crombie lost the handle of it. Spaeth trying to get it out. Went off Acidorian. He's trying to find it. He's knocked down. Ice Dogs get it out. And that's going to go down the ice. Not enough for icing. Here's Eamon Edgar. He loses an edge entering the zone. Puck will roll to the corner. Picked up by Frolov. Frolov up to Smith. Smith able to chip this one out to center ice. Desiderio back to Vader. Edgar has that one go off his skate. Eamon Edgar will put it back to his defense. Ethan Armstrong. Vader. Salandra. Quick pass. Chasing after now is Desiderio. Desiderio with a shot. That goes over the net. At the point, Armstrong after it. Smith has it in his skates, trying to take more time off the clock. 6 minutes remaining. Smith still on top of it. Salandra can't keep it in. Now it's picked up by Galyanov. Galyanov, he's going to go off for a change, so he'll simply send it deep. Colts able to regroup once again. Vader, he'll escape the zone here for the Barrie Colts. Sends that one deep into the corner. Picked up here by Frolov for the Ice Dogs. Schneid on the forecheck. Tiller with possession. Takes the hit at the line, kept in by Aitchison. Puck's in the air. Schneid can't get a stick on it. Tiller had it for a moment. Here's low shot, stopped by Yarmolenko. Some quick passing from the Barrie Colts, and for Niagara, it seems like they get hemmed there at times with those quick puck movements.
Well, the Colts are just putting the pressure up front from the forecheck. I mean, they're getting right on those white jerseys right away. Anytime Niagara's got the puck, they got a couple of blue jerseys right on top of them, and that's forcing Niagara into turnovers and just not able to get anything going. Yeah, Dylan Moskowitz has to be happy with his team's play here in this third period. They continue to put the pressure on. It's just been relentless pressure up front.
Well, Dylan Moskowitz has the whiteboard out. He's drawing up the play here. Is it's going to be a face-off in the Niagara zone. So a big face-off with Brad Gardner on the ice, who's one of the top face-off men for this Barrie Colts team. For a chance to try and even this game up.
These dogs look like they're just trying to hang on right now and get that puck out of the zone, but the Colts, again, that forecheck, it's coming in waves. Oh, Keyshawn H. has been off the ice in like the last 10 minutes.
That's a great question. I'd be curious about his ice time tonight. So Gardner taking the draw against Zada. Zada giving him a bit of a headbutt. And they drop the puck. Colts get it off the draw. Carter Lowe across, picked off there by Reed. He's going to reach center and dump it in. Rebick out of his net. We'll give that one up to Carter Lowe. Lowe ahead, finds Gardner at the blue line. Ahead for Lowe, catches up to it, skates it in, takes the shots off the glove of Yarmolenko. Puck's at the side of the net, chipped in front, loose puck, side of the goal. Yarmolenko got a paddle on it, sends it to the corner. Reisenecker sending it ahead. Ryerson Edgar, his pass, trying to get to Kevin He's able to get that one out. Goes back into the Colt zone. We'll keep an eye on Ben Horebic, see when he goes off for the extra attacker as Deke Vader will skate it in. His shot stopped by Yarmolenko. Vader takes the hit. Schneid passing it back. Quick shot over the net by Beaudoin. Emerton at the point. Goes back to Beaudoin. Beaudoin surrounded by white sweaters. Emerton with a shot on net. And that's going to be held on to by Yarmolenko.
Great chance for Cole Beaudoin. Fires it up over the net. Colts pressure continues. Just relentless. Dylan Moskowitz shortening the bench here. Trying to get his top guns out there. And hey, look who's out there. Number 77 again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's been out there this whole third period.
Comes off for about 5 seconds and he's back on there.
Get some water and get back out there. Face off to the left of Yarmolenko. Scrambled draw. IceDogs get to it. And they'll get this one out. Passmore picks it up at center ice. Gives it up to Aitchison. Aitchison sending this one deep. Around the boards it goes. Frolov picks it up for Niagara. Can't get it by Crombie. Crombie taken into the boards. Tiller chasing after it for Niagara. Picked off by Beaudoin. Beaudoin trying to send this one back to Crombie. Quick pass finds Aitchison. Aitchison waits. Toe drag still with it. His shot goes into the air as he had Robrick right in front. As Aitchison so close to trying to get that hat trick.
Aitchison moving his right, just trying to get the right angle, get an open path to the front of the net. Nice job by Robrick to get the stick down and deflect that one away. But Beaudoin, I mean, just willing himself to that puck. IceDogs look like they had a chance to get the puck out, and he keeps it in, and that leads almost to a decent opportunity in front for Aitchison.
Face off to the left of Yarmolenko. Beaudoin taking the draw up against Galyanov. IceDogs get it off the face-off in the corner. They battle for it. Beaudoin, they'll win that battle. Along the boards, Cole Beaudoin dropping it there for Crombie. Crombie towards the net. Beaudoin took a swing but misses. Aitchison with possession. His shot off the shoulder of Yarmolenko. Beaudoin in the corner. Here's Asadorian. Along the boards, back to Aitchison. Aitchison sends that one to the corner, picked up by Beaudoin. Cole Beaudoin behind the net, sets up Crombie. Crombie in front, scores! Alex Asadorian, the former Niagara IceDog, he is tied it at 5. What a way to get your first as a Barrie Colt. Get that monkey off the back.
Just absolutely relentless pressure by the Barrie Colts. Down 5-1, just 2:17 into this third period. The Colts have raced all the way back here with 3:28 remaining to tie it. And Cole Bodwin, nice little move here. Look at him get the puck out to Crombie. Crombie spots Asadorian in front. He's able to redirect that one into the back of the net. What a big time goal for the former Ice Dog.
That is one big smile on his face. Alex Asadorian getting his first as a member of the Barrie Colts, and it ties this game at 5. They've overcome a 4-goal deficit. Puck's deflected deep into the Niagara zone. Yarmolenko, he'll send this one around. Armstrong can't keep that one in at the point. Low, up to Gardner. Salandra is going to send that one into the Niagara zone. Yarmolenko out of his net to play it. Reisnecker sending that one ahead. Far side, Ryerson Edgar blocked by Low. Sends it right back into the Niagara end. Barnes up the wing, finds Edgar. Ryerson Edgar on the wing. Asadorian back out there. He'll tie him up. Holds him along the boards. Puck goes behind the Colts net. Picked up by Vader. Teague Vader. He'll go for a skate. Flips this one out through the neutral zone. Tiller there to pick it up for the Ice Dogs. Ahead for Zada. Can't control that bouncing puck. Cole Bodwin down the neutral zone. He'll carry this one in. Bodwin hits the brakes. Gives that one up to Crombie. Crombie in the corner. Facing some pressure there from Tiller. Able to get it back to Bodwin. His shot. That goes off Asadorian into the corner. Crombie. He's tied up by Tiller. That battle continues as Janowski's able to send that one around. Vader at the point. Keeps it in. Relentless pressure here from the Barrie Colts. Puck's on the far side. Vader. He'll send this one around. Crombie puts it out in front. Janowski able to collect it for the Ice Dogs as Barrie was making a line change. Kevin Heat receives the pass at the Barrie blue line. He'll send that one to the corner. Vader takes the hit from He. Vader trying to play it. Crombie collecting it here for the Colts. He'll send this one out to center ice. Barnes receives the pass for the Ice Dogs. At center, he's going to send that one deep. Aitchison gets to it first. Robrick on the forecheck. Drops it back for Carter Lowe. Here's Brad Gardner at his own blue line. Skates through center. Dumps that one in. A minute and a half left to go here in the third period. Tied at 5. Robrick gets this one out for Niagara. Patterson chips it ahead for Reed. Hayden Reed enters the zone here for Niagara. Trying to go around Aitchison. He'll hit the brakes. Reed leaves it in the corner. Emerton collects it behind the net. Patterson tied up there by Carter Lowe as the Colts will send this one ahead. Off to the races here is Joe Salandra through the neutral zone. Carries it in. Salandra still with it. Goes around the Niagara net. Trying to wrap around, but hits the side of the goal. Kayshawn Aitchison takes the shot off the end boards. Picked up by Lowe at the point. Emerton takes the shot. That goes off Robrick. Ends up back behind the Niagara net. Gardner trying to get it with his skate. Instead, it's picked up by Patterson. Robrick not paying attention. That pass went right past him. Colts have it at center ice. Emerton sends it deep. Yarmolenko stops it behind the goal. He'll play it around. 30 seconds left here in the period. Robrick gets this one out. Evan Passmore back in his own zone. Up to Desiderio. Desiderio, he'll send this one deep. 23 seconds. Tiller gets to it for Niagara. That's going to be sent out to the neutral zone. Colts recover. Evan Passmore with it. Passmore gets that one out. Off the end boards. Yarmolenko out of his net again. He just wants to get it out. Knocked down by Bodwin. Bodwin sends that one across, but no one was there for the Colts. Aitchison off the end boards. Picked up by Bodwin. 3 seconds left. There's a shot from Schneid. Stopped by Yarmolenko. And that will do it for regulation time. We're going to need a little overtime today between the Barrie Colts and the Niagara IceDogs, which I'm kind of surprised that we're here, to be honest with you.
Oh, just 2:17 after Robrick scored to put Niagara up 5-1. It looked like it was lights out, but Colts never gave up in this one, and they roar back with 4 straight goals to tie it. Shots in that period, Mike, 19-4 for Barrie. It was all Barrie. I mean, the play was all in the Niagara zone, just immense pressure, and the Colts get rewarded for it with at least 1 point here and an opportunity to cap the comeback in what was an incredible push here in this third period.
Well, you have to give credit to Kayshawn Aitchison just carrying the team on his back, and then Asadorian finally getting one as a member of the Barrie Colts. He's been so close with all the assists and getting the chances, but gets rewarded. And Boy, oh boy, what a time to get your first goal as a member of the Barrie Colts, forcing overtime.
Well, he's got to be real happy, and a nice play there by Crombie to get that puck to the front of the net. Again, just great work by Cole Bowden. I mean, just like the Energizer Bunny. I don't know. Yeah, just great pressure. I mean, Dylan Smoskowitz just has got to love the way his team didn't, no quitting them tonight. Look, it would have been easy to sit there and say, all right, we'll move on to next weekend, but Colts didn't do that here. They find a way back, and that's what it takes sometimes. You get that one, and you get those two quick goals there back to back, one on the power play, and next thing you know, you're back in it, and you got some life. And you can see that Colts red right now is motivating.
So this is the third game to go to overtime for the Barrie Colts. They've lost in a shootout to the Attack and the Greyhounds prior. That was back at the Saddlin Arena, so we'll see what they can do here on the road. It's 3-on-3, the overtime underway. A lot of lethal weapons on this Ice Dogs team, including Zada, who already has a hat trick. He has it deep in his own zone. Ethan Zada picking up momentum through the neutral zone for the Ice Dogs. Zada trying to cut around, but he's stopped by Aitchison, and now the Colts take it the other way, 2-on-1. Cole Baudouin and Kayshawn Aitchison. Baudouin on the wing, sends it to the net, stopped by Ermolenko, and Aitchison crashing into the net, so the net came off. But if you're a Colts fan, those are the two players you want on a 2-on-1 situation, Baudouin and Aitchison.
Oh, what a chance. Zada trying to make a move, and Aitchison stood him up inside the old blue line and turned it over, and then him and Bowden are going to go in and watch this nice little move here by Bowden trying to get it across to Aitchison, and he's ended up tripping up. That goes off the moorings, but these 3-on-3s, I don't know how coaches do it, because you turn the puck and you go one way and it goes racing back the other way, and usually it's an odd man rush going the other way. Perfect example right there.
So because the net came off with the collision with Aitchison, they bring the faceoff outside the Ice Dogs blue line. Niagara will win this drop. Barnes skates it back behind his own net. Blake Barnes moving this one ahead. Drops it back for Patterson. Ahead for Robrick. Ryan Robrick, already a goal tonight. On his backhand behind the Colts net. Still with it. Robrick doing a lap, directing traffic as he goes. Gives it up to Barnes. Barnes trying to go to the net, but he's stopped by Schneid, and the Colts will take it back the other way. Cole Emerton trying to go between the legs of Barnes. Now he'll send it ahead. In front, shot scores! William Schneid completes the comeback for the Barrie Colts as they win it 6-5 in overtime. What a game here at the Meridian Center.
What a setup by Brad Gardner. And the Colts were all banging their sticks this overtime. They were stoked, and they just really did take the foot off the pressure. Just what a play by Brad Gardner to spot William Schneid in front of the net. Had a breakaway goal earlier tonight, and he ends up getting the winner here. What an absolute stunning comeback by the Barrie Colts here, down 5-1 early in the third period. They race back to score 5 unanswered goals to take this one in overtime.
Well, we're going to have to wait on the celebrations. The Niagara IceDogs are challenging it. They're saying that maybe it was offside on the zone entry for the Barrie Colts. So the linesmen right now on the tablets, the Barrie Colts, after celebrating with William Schneid, are back on the bench as we're now getting a look at it ourselves on the scoreboard. It's hard to see from our angle where that puck is. And it's hard to tell. The fans here, they believe it's an offside. So this might come back. Schneid may have... Well, there's the puck on the other side of the line. I'm so glad we don't have to make this decision.
Ooh, that's close.
That
Tough
is
to
very
tell
close.
from that angle.
Well, there's a logo blocking where the puck is, so we can't really see it entering the zone on that one shot. Oh, there's the puck down there. I think Schneid may be ahead of the play.
Almost, you can't see it there. I mean, the puck.
Yeah, because there's the puck there at the bottom. I think this one may be coming back.
Question is it conclusive enough to overturn it?
Well, at this point, if you're the Niagara IceDogs, it's worth a shot trying to challenge it to try and get this one to come back.
I'm glad it's them and not me. I just
And they are taking a long look at this. So it must be a lot closer than what it looks like on the scoreboard. As the two teams still on the ice, waiting for the official word on whether or not William Schneid has scored the game winner in overtime for the Barrie Colts.
you mean this call could be closer?
It could be. It could be.
It's not close enough.
Well, the league was supposed to install new cameras and whatnot for reviews such as this. So we're going to get the call. No goal.
Wow.
So it remains tied at 5. So we're going to have to continue this 3-on-3 overtime, which is tough for William Schneid because that was an exciting moment for his young career.
Well, in one way, I guess, you're a Colts fan, you're hoping to get the 2 points, but on the other hand, we get to see more of this great finish to this hockey game. But Colts thought they had the winner, no goal, offside. Back to work.
So face-off won by the Colts. They're right now out shooting Niagara 39-31. For most of this hockey game, it was all IceDogs on the shot clock. Cole Baudouin taking out of his own zone through the neutral zone. Baudouin carrying it in. Shot stopped by Yarmolenko. Rebound comes back to the point. Salandra's going to skate it out to center. Joe Salandra picking up momentum. He'll carry this one in. Salandra, he'll peel back to the point. Salandra still with it. He'll send it ahead for Aitchison. Aitchison leaves it for Baudouin. Cole Baudouin trying to go to the net. Forehand, and that was knocked away. Yarmolenko was knocked over. Play continues. Salandra with it. Gives it up to Aitchison. Puck bounced on him. So the Colts have to come out to the neutral zone. William Schneid back on the ice. He scored the first overtime goal, which was disallowed. So he's going to get another shot. Schneid couldn't control that pass from Gardner. Gardner carrying it in for Barrie. Gardner didn't like what he saw there, so he's peeling back all the way to his own blue line. Calvin Crombie now. There's a collision between Barnes and Gardner as Crombie carries it in. Puck's in the corner. Crombie, from his knees, gets it back to Gardner. Here's Schneid. Schneid settles it down, dropping it back to Emerton. Emerton, he's going to peel back in the neutral zone. It's been all Barrie here in this overtime. Alex Asadorian now has it. Decides to peel back, giving that one to Aitchison. Aitchison's going to enter the zone now. Barnes trying to take it away from the Colts defenseman. Kayshawn Aitchison in the corner. His pass off Asadorian. Baudouin keeps it in, but now decides to peel it back himself. Now over 2 minutes remaining in overtime. Cole Baudouin, he'll enter the zone. Far side, he's got speed to the net. Takes the shot. Yarmolenko, the safe second stop. And the IceDogs will pick up the rebound, and they try to take it out, but Asadorian knocked that one away. Now it's Zada with it into the attacking zone. Ethan Zada stopped by Asadorian. Kevin He lost the handle of it. Puck's in the neutral zone. Kevin He will collect it now for the IceDogs. He giving this one up to Patterson, or Frolov rather. Frolov behind the Colts net, sends this one around. Robrick off the bench. Has it at the line. He's just going to skate out to center. Play a game of keep away as he sends it ahead for Riley Patterson. Patterson to Robrick, knocked down by Asadorian. Robrick still with it, puts it off the side of the net. Crombie collecting it now for the Colts. He's going to skate it through center. Calvin Crombie trying to go to the net through the defense, but that was taken away. Emerton knocks that one ahead. Here's Crombie. Crombie around the net. Calvin Crombie dropping it back to Emerton. His shot, and that's deflected out of play as we're now in the final minute of the overtime period.
Kayshawn Aitchison is actually off the ice. Oh, no, wait, he's back on.
There he goes again.
Cole Baudouin, these two, what's their ice time numbers here in this third period and overtime? Remarkable, and it looks like I think we're getting a timeout for the Barrie Colts.
So they're going to get the face-off to the right of Yarmolenko. So Dylan Smoskowitz coming up with a game plan here as the Barrie Colts, they have been really, since Robrick made it a 5-1 hockey game, they found a way to dig into it and have really taken charge and powered their way to force here into overtime.
It's been all Colts. And either that or when you rolled out the old Yogi Berra line.
Maybe that's it.
Over till it's over. The wisdom of Mike Corey via the Yogi Berra.
There we go. But really, the third period in overtime, it's been all Barrie. So give credit to the veterans on this team, and you're also getting contributions from some of the younger guys like Schneid, Emerton. As play continues, puck goes to the far corner in the Niagara zone. Gardner is going to be the first one on it. Takes the bump there from Zada at the point. Aitchison, puck bounced on him. Back at the blue line, he's going to take it back. 44 seconds left in overtime. Here's Brad Gardner. He's going to go for a skate. Gardner enters the zone, across to Aitchison, and he puts that one wide. Yeah, Barnes ahead for Zada, or Robrick rather. Robrick carrying this one in, crosses paths with Zada. Robrick still with it. High slot, stopped by Harebic. He's put that to the corner. Bodwin got a stick on it. Puck comes to the near side. 18 seconds left in overtime. Time for maybe one more rush here for the Colts. Aitchison enters the zone, gets around the defense, trying another move there, but that one knocked away. Back behind the IceDogs net. 6 seconds remaining. Bodwin back to Acidorian. His shot stop, rebound, and the IceDogs will get it out. And that will do it for overtime. We thought the Barrie Colts had the game winner with Schneid, but that was offside, and now we're going to need a shootout to really settle things.
Oh, what an ending that would have been. Acidorian with seconds remaining found himself right in the slot there in a big pad stop, and nice setup by Bodwin there. Catch your breath on this one. What an absolute finish to this hockey game, and what was looking like a Niagara win 5-1 early in this third period, and well, don't count them out. Barrie Colts, what a comeback here on this afternoon, and hey, we still got more here with an exciting shootout coming up.
And this is now the third shootout this season already for Barrie. They previously had games back at home against the Owen Sound Attack and Sioux Greyhounds that went the distance. But that would be the Greyhounds and the Attack getting that extra point in the extracurriculars. As we get set for this shootout to decide who's going to get the extra point. If this game is any indication, the rivalry this season between Barrie and Niagara is going to be something else.
Shots were 5-2 in that overtime frame for Barrie. Hockey game on this afternoon, and so much going on, but Meridian Center, this is pretty top shelf entertainment here. And guess what? We still got more coming up.
So the Niagara IceDogs are going to shoot first. It's Ryan Robrick coming over the boards. Robrick already one goal this afternoon. He made it a 5-1 hockey game at that point. Robrick carrying it in here for Niagara. He's going to go wide on net. Robrick takes his time. Shot stopped by Harebic as he got a piece of it. Now it looks like William Schneid's going to come over the bench here for the Colts. He scored one shorthanded in the second period and thought he had the overtime winner, but now a chance for him to get one in the shootout. Schneid will skate this one in on Yarmolenko. Schneid, forehand, stopped by Yarmolenko.
Schneid twisting and turning and trying to get Yarmolenko to kind of open up, but Niagara goaltender with another big stop.
Already with the hat trick tonight, Ethan Zada. He's going to get a chance here. Still looking for our first goal in the shootout. Zada through the 5-hole. No, stopped by Harebic. Harebic showed 5-hole, and Zada went for it.
That's the old bait and switch, you know. Here it is. It's right here. Oh, it's gone.
So close. So Cole Baudouin, Utah Mammoth prospect, getting a chance here. Baudouin coming in wide, forehand shot. Oh, his stick broke, and the puck went wide of the net. Tough break there for Baudouin.
That's just tough. You got out the right side and trying to fire this one, and the stick just collapsed.
So it's now former Barrie Colt Riley Patterson taking the shot here in the third round. Patterson, he is weaving into the zone. Going to his forehand, and he put that one wide. Looks like we're going to get Brad Gardner next for the Barrie Colts. Are we a little surprised it's not Kayshawn Aitchison? So Gardner is going to step up here. Gardner going to the far side. On goal. Backhand scores! Brad Gardner is the hero tonight as the Barrie Colts complete the comeback in a shootout with the winner from Brad Gardner.
I mean, take a breath here. I mean, this just what an absolute wild finish. What a huge win for the Barrie Colts. Down 5-1 early in this third period. They never gave up. They thought they had it won in overtime, and they still pushed forward and get it done in a shootout. But what a huge 2 points for Dylan Smosquit's hockey club here in a game where all looked lost, but the Barrie Colts never gave up, and they get rewarded for it. Find a way to get this game into overtime, and Alex Asadorian, a big goal on his return here to the Meridian Center. Kayshawn H is now 4 goals over his last 2 games, outstanding. I think him and Cole Baudouin, I mean, the ice time levels in that third period and overtime, they never left the ice. But just outstanding. I mean, for this Barrie Colts team, what a big win. And for a young club here, too, a team that's, hasn't been on the road much here. What a huge win to come up with this one.
And for the Barrie Colts, this just goes to show some great character of this Barrie Colts team and what they're developing for this year. The season is still young, and we'll see what's in store next for the Barrie Colts. But then you look at Niagara, just the total collapse, which I think is kind of shocking from that aspect.
Yeah, they look stunned. I mean, Niagara kind of needed some kind of spark, and you come up and you give up a couple of goals. All right, you still got the lead at 5-3, and able to kind of like just rebound and put together a couple of shifts and try to turn that momentum. But the Colts just come in waves. I mean, the forecheck was just up front. I mean, they were turning pucks over. Barrie was. Niagara players just didn't have a lot of time and space to do anything in that third period. And credit to the Colts. I mean, they put the pedal down, and it's been kind of a favorite saying. And Cole Baudouin said it to me last night. And Dylan Smosquitz said it to me. The pedal to the metal, and that's perfectly explains this third period for the Barrie Colts in overtime and shootout.
So your 3 stars tonight. Third star, Cole Baudouin. What a game he had. Kayshawn Aitchison is the second star, and they announced Ethan Zada as the first star with his hat trick. So what a performance here for the Barrie Colts. And Gene, I know you got to get down there and get some quotes for your article, but for your first broadcast, it was a pretty exciting game.
Oh, this was fun. I mean, got some bonus hockey, and even rolled out the old Yogi Berra quote there from you. It's never over till it's over, and you know what? You're right.
There we go.
He was right. He was on to something.
So it's a big 6-5 final in a shootout for the Barrie Colts. For Gene Pereira, I'm Mike Poirier saying so long. The Barrie Colts back in action Thursday when they're home to the Ottawa 67s. Gene and I will have the call on Rogers TV, so you can tune in there. So again, thanks to everyone for being involved in the chats and being a part of this broadcast, and we'll talk to you again soon.